go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, you have this, you need to take this pill. And then that pill causes this problem. And then you need to go to another doctor to talk about that problem. And then that doctor gives you another pill for that problem. Then you end up on 15 different prescription medications and they all have side effects. So it's just it's a pill for nail society, which we need to get away from.
Before we dive back into today's conversation, I want to share something important. This episode includes a paid partnership with BetterHelp, a platform designed to make starting therapy easier. I know from my own journey as a leader and entrepreneur that life can sometimes feel overwhelming. There are seasons where stress, uncertainty, and pressure build up, and you need a safe space to process it all. That's where therapy comes in. Therapy isn't only for people facing clinical challenges. It's a space to reflect, grow, and find better ways to manage stress, relationships, and personal goals. It takes courage to seek help, but it's also one of the smartest investments you can make in your mental and emotional well-being. That's why I'm proud to highlight BetterHelp. With BetterHelp, you simply fill out a short questionnaire and get matched with a credentialed therapist in just a couple of days. If the first match doesn't feel like the right fit, you can easily switch therapists at no extra cost until you find someone who truly connects with you. Inside the platform, you'll also find tools like journaling and group sessions on different topics that can support your growth. And with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 Trustpilot rating, BetterHelp is a platform you can rely on. So if you feel like you'd benefit from talking to a therapist, visit betterhelp.com/KingDames. That's betterhelp.com/KingDames to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Once again, this is a paid partnership with BetterHelp, and I encourage you to take that first step if you've been thinking about it. Sometimes the best investment you can make is in yourself.
Welcome to the King Dems podcast, where we share the stories of extraordinary people and dissect hot, relevant topics that shape our world. From visionary leaders to trailblazing creatives, we uncover the mindset, strategy, and grit behind greatness. Whether it's business, culture, or personal growth, we ask the real questions. This isn't just conversation, it's transformation. The King Dems podcast. Your next breakthrough starts here.
Music licensing reimagined.
Real life, ladies and gentlemen, you're once again welcome to the King Dems podcast. And today I've got with me fighting out of Dallas, Texas, Rob, Exodus Strong, Faith Hero, Rene. How are you, Rob?
I'm so excited.
This is a
gonna be
soldier of
blast.
God.
Amen.
Whoa.
Amen. I'm so excited to be here.
I am excited. I'm pumped. And of course, I'm gassed beyond what gasoline can give you. You know, I need to be paying gas taxes right now because I am absolutely pumped for this one. So you once again welcome, and of course, audience guys, you're in for. They always say you're in for a rude awakening, but what's the opposite of rude?
Amazing.
You're in for you're in for an amazing awakening. So
There you go.
let's go right to the introduction of the guest, right? So today's conversation is about transformation. It's real, it's raw, and it's rooted in something deeper than quick fixes. My guest started as a high-level athlete, survived a near fatal accident, climbed the corporate ladder, and then walked away from it, all after uncovering what he believes is widespread deception in mainstream health. He didn't just pivot, he was reborn, combining 2,000 years of biblical healing wisdom with cutting-edge science like molecular hydrogen and frequency medicine. He now helps people exit the old you physically, mentally, and spiritually. This is Rob Rene of Exodus Strong, the voice behind the I Am Pain-Free movement. If you've ever felt betrayed by the system, stuck in pain, or disconnected from purpose, lean in. This episode could be the beginning of your own exodus. Ladies and gentlemen,
Amen.
welcome
I
Rob
love it.
Rene.
What a great intro. I super appreciate it. Well done. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully people are going to get a lot of value out of this conversation because I'm here to help people in a dramatic way. So let's do it.
You're very much welcome. You are here to help people. You were born to help people. And there's something I love to tell people, help me to help you. So
Amen.
that is why
Now,
the best strategy in business is win-win. You know, if I win and you win, it means you're helping me
That's
to
right.
help you.
That's right.
Let's go back. to the beginning, right?
All right.
Take us back to that accident in Utah. Like what happened and what was the emotional and spiritual fallout like for you?
Yeah, that was a crazy experience. Just because grew up as an athlete, right? I ended up being a runner. That was kind of my specialty. I loved running. I was much better at running than any other sport, and just God gave me this natural talent to run. But I also read a book that was important that taught me about nutrition and how nutrition really fuels the body. So I use that as a tool my running. My most of my competition was eating, hot dogs and pizza, and I'm fueling my body correctly, and I always had a good finish at the end, and it got me full ride running scholarship to Division I school. And I was on my way to be a professional runner. That's what I had thought, and I just won an international race where I beat the best runners from 5 different countries, and I was just super excited. I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. I wanted to make the U.S. Olympic team, which was coming up in another year, and I was out on a training run in Utah. It went really snowy and cold, and the roads were covered with snow, and we're out on a 10-mile run. So we're bundled up and hat on and out running, and all of a sudden my friend yells my name, and I turn around and just see this truck coming, and like had nothing. Didn't have time to jump out of the way like my friend did, and I said, I'm gonna get hit and gonna get hit, and this truck hit me right in the hip, and then threw me 36 feet, and boom, I landed on my face and it knocked me out. I'm literally here on this earth for a reason because I should have died that day. I had a clogged throat from the blood that while I was laying on the ground unconscious, that my throat was clogged. So if it wasn't for my friend to save my life that day by unclogging my throat, I would have perished that particular day. And we can fast forward to 2 weeks ago, and I'll tell you another crazy story. But back to this one, it was like, man, it's so devastating because that was my whole life, right? My life had been for 10 years. I was training to be a professional runner, and boom, immediately that my life had changed. Running was no longer an option, and so that became really tough mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. I went through a really difficult period of time on what am I supposed to do now. Thank goodness I had a brother who was a mentor of mine. I think in business it's so important to have mentors and advisors and
Absolutely.
multiple
Absolutely.
advisors, right? And you know that so well, right? And so, you know, I did that in my work of life. I'm like, okay, I had that mentor, and my brother helped me understand that I thank goodness I had a good education. So when even though I was a good runner, I did well in school too. So I fell back on my schooling. I got into my college degree, and I go on into the corporate world, and then I did what what the world tells you to do. Right? The world tells you to go to college, go get a job at a large corporation. This is back in my day, right? This is back 15, 20 years ago. And it was like, okay, you need to have a wife and 3 children, and you need to have a house with a white picket fence, and you need to have a dog, and you need to play video games, you need to watch sports, and that's what the world told me to do. And I was good at all of that, right? I was good at drinking. I drank often, and I partied with my friends, and I was really successful at my corporate sales job, but it was just not fulfilling. Right? For a long time, I'm really sad that I did that for so long of my life, that
Uh-huh.
I did what the world told me to do rather than what the Lord tells me to do. And then the pandemic hit, and that's what just transitioned my entire life. So I call it the second truck that hit me because it had the same
Oh,
impact. Right? That first truck was I was on my way to be a professional
physical.
runner, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was a physical confrontation with a 4x4 vehicle that almost ended my life. The second truck, it was the pandemic, and the reason why it was so impactful to my life was I'd been a corporate sales executive for a really long time, and when the pandemic hit, I couldn't travel. I was in the middle of Oregon, which is not a big populated place, and they downsized the sales force, and I was part of that downsizing. And I'm like,
Is
okay,
that
now what do I do?
Portlander?
Yeah, I was a Portlander, right? I was actually over in Bend, Oregon at the time, which is in Central Oregon. Beautiful place to live and wonderful place, but there's not a lot of large corporations there that need enterprise software, which is what my specialty was. So I'd lost my job, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is the first time in my life that I had time to do research. And so I taught myself how to research. And one of the things I loved health, right? Being a runner when I was young, and I was worried about my family, like everybody was. It's like, how do you stay healthy during this COVID arena? And I just started digging into research. And I remember there's one doctor that really woke me up, because this one doctor was getting vilified for trying to help people. He was recommending vitamin D to help people. And I'm like, okay, they're suing this doctor. The government was suing this doctor for multiple billions of dollars with a B. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money, right? What is going on? This guy must be horrible, right? So, and then what vitamin D? I thought vitamin D was like from the sun. Why would that be bad? So I started researching vitamin D, did all the research. I'm like, okay, vitamin D is like amazing. It's not bad for you at all. So that can't be it. So then maybe this doctor is a really bad dude, right? What's in the closet? Why are they going after this doctor? And I did as much research as I could find. I couldn't find anything wrong with the doctor. He's a holistic practitioner. He's helping people for his entire life, and he's talking about how vitamin D could potentially help you with COVID. So I'm like, why is that bad? And then I started saying, why would they vilify him? Why would they sue him? And then that's when I uncovered the craziness about our healthcare system. Is it's all about money, and it's not about helping people at the base of it. It's all about greed and cash. And they wanted to shut this guy up because he was talking about a potential solution that might help people, and they wanted people to not do that. They wanted people to take the shots and do the things, and it became one of those areas. When I started researching it, was like really pissed me off. I'm like,
There were a lot of
how is this
conspiracy
possible?
theories around
Yeah.
COVID.
There were a lot, right? But what was fun for me is that research is like, okay, so I uncovered in the United States, our healthcare system was kind of taken over in the early 1900s, and the Rockefellers did this report called the Flexner Report, and that Flexner Report was they used it in a nefarious way to vilify all the holistic practitioners, and then they used it to create these medical schools that were only teaching pharmaceutical based medication. So, and you couldn't get a job as a doctor at that time if you didn't go through their medical school. So you had to be, in order to practice medicine, you had to go through their medical schools, and their medical schools only taught medicine based upon the pharmaceutical drugs, which
Orthodox
they could
medicine.
patent. Yeah. So what was that?
I said orthodox medicine.
Yeah, yeah. So they
Yeah,
would
that's
only do pill-based, medicine, right? And it was medicine that they could patent. So that's why they did it, because they couldn't patent whole natural health nutrients, like the stuff that comes from the Bible, the stuff I'm so passionate about now, is you couldn't patent that. So they took over the healthcare system in the United States. And then, now it's really evident, people call it big pharma, and they call it all sorts of different things. I call it the medical deception, uh, you know, crew, because it's just that they've really done a great job of really deceiving people. And the United States spends more money on healthcare than any country in the world, and
absolutely.
we have one of the worst healthcare systems in the world, right? You look at all the statistics, and we're like at the bottom of the barrel. So it's just, obviously we're not doing it correctly, and it's all about the pharma. And then I started understanding how pharmaceutical companies, they really control a lot of our world today. They control a lot of the
Yeah.
media. They control a lot of the
You
site.
read my mind. You read my mind. I'm like the control narratives. That's
Yeah,
the way I
yeah,
put it. The control narratives, right? But a quick backtrack to your origin story. It reminds me
yeah.
of something we say a lot in my home country. I'm from Nigeria originally. I
Awesome.
migrated to the United Kingdom. I live in London. We say God, man proposes, but God disposes. That's what we tend to say a lot in Nigeria. Shout out to the audience from Nigeria.
Yeah.
They've contributed so much to this show, and of course, this show is has consistently been amongst the top 200 shows on Apple podcasts in Nigeria. So
Awesome.
we talk about the conflict, the beliefs, the awakening, right? You have had a deep dive into medical and pharmaceutical systems. So, what would you say that deep dive, that deep research has revealed, and why has it ignited your mission that you are on today?
Awesome question. Literally, to me, I saw the deception and I saw the corruption that people are hiding things that are amazing for people. And so, like that doctor, the first one's like they're trying to shut him up to talk about vitamin D. So then I started looking at all different types of solutions of like how can we help people, right? I initially wanted to just help my family. I'm like, I'm gonna go create some solutions just gonna help my family. And so I started looking uh, at solutions to help my family. And one of the things I was going to create some supplements. That was my first thought. I was going to go find these natural solutions that help people. But then I got introduced to this gentleman who's working on frequencies. And then I started, he had these little skin patches that had frequencies on them that you'd apply to your body. And
Oh, frequency patches.
I'm like,
I have
come
some of
on.
those.
Yeah, you literally, we were talking before the show. You showed
Mhm.
me some of those, like, but they're so weird. I'm like, okay, you're gonna put a sticker on your body, and it's gonna help you. I had no clue about how the body was made up of energy. So
Biohacking.
I started doing research, and yeah, this biohacking. I was like, oh my gosh, the body is amazing. It's literally made up of energy, and even down to the cellular level, our body cells interact with each other via vibration, and those vibrations give off a frequency. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought frequency is a weird word, right? I'm like, what the heck is a frequency? But frequencies aren't weird. Your cell phone you use uses a frequency. The radio you listen to, or at least back in my day, we'd have an actual radio, right? And then just sound and color. Those are frequencies. And so I'm like, okay, so frequencies aren't weird. And then I found out, did research on Dr. Emoto. Have you ever heard of Dr. Emoto? He's
In
done
the
some
U-
he's done
in the
some really cool experiments in he's a Japanese doctor, and he created this book called The Hidden Messages in Water. And he did these
I need to do
experiments.
some research on his
It's
body
so
of
cool.
work then.
There's some fun stuff that you can research on him. But he did his whole body of work on how external components have a physical impact on something else. Like he did these water experiments. See these beautiful water crystal in this picture. He
How do
would
you
do
spell the name? Because the name sounds familiar to
it's
me.
Emoto, Masuru Emoto,
Okay,
Doctor
I think I've
Masuru
heard of him
Emoto.
before. Yeah.
And he's cool. One of the experiments I like the best is his rice experiment. So he did this rice experiment for 30 days. He had these 3 jars of rice, and in the jars of rice, he had the same amount of water and the same amount of rice. And then he did this experiment where he would tell one jar of rice that he would I love you. I love this jar of rice. Then the second one, he'd say, I hate you. And he would swear at it. He'd get mad at this second jar of rice. And then the third jar he would ignore, right? And so he literally did this for 30 straight days. And at the end of 30 days, you see the 3 different specimens. It's amazing. The one that he shared love for and cared for, it was white. And it looked like murky rice water. Whereas the one that he swore at and had bad intentions towards was disgustingly moldy. It was just like, what? And then the one that he ignored was almost as bad as the one that he was swearing at. And so it's crazy. And then I thought, oh come on, that's can't happen. But then you
Yeah.
go on YouTube and you see his experiments, and people have replicated that experiment over and over and over. So it's something that was the first time in my life I understood that with that external emotions and external things can have a physical impact on something else. And that was amazing to me. I'm like, what? That I didn't understand either. So then when I learned how important frequencies are and that you can have physical changes in external things, and learning how the mind works, and how this mind body spirit connection is so important, that was really eye-opening to me. So we created a company called QE Strong, that we have these skin patches, these little patches, right, that have a frequency on them, and they help you with different problems. So we have a relief patch that helps you when you're having your back hurts, that type of thing. And then we have a energy one. We have all different types of solutions. But what got me so interested in that was like, oh my gosh, mind body spirit thing is so important. And after that second accident with COVID, the second truck wasn't really an accident, but that second truck that hit me, I really started my faith journey. I've been a Christian my entire life, but I'd never really done much with it. I'd go to church on Sunday and I enjoyed the service, but then I didn't think about church. As soon as the door hit me in the butt, I would leave. I wouldn't think about church the entire time until next Sunday. But what I started to do was read the Bible every day. What is so I ended
Study
up
to show
developing this.
thyself approved.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I started developing this amazing relationship with God. I was like, instead of having a religion, I had a relationship now. And this relationship is so powerful that I want everybody to understand that they can have that, because that amazing is something that it's indescribable, the
Uh-huh.
feeling that you have when you have a relationship with God. And when you have that, I started listening to him and asking him what he wants me to do. And literally he's directing my path, which is so incredibly amazing. And he's helping me help people. That's what he has me on this mission on earth is to do he wants me to help the world. And so I'm creating solutions that are helping people. I did research on the Bible, and there's like all these different herbs and superfoods in the Bible. And I'm like, praying to the Lord, like, help me find a solution that no one's ever created that I can take to the world. And I couldn't find anything. I found some amazing herbs and superfoods. If someone wants to do some fun research, there's a balm of Gilead in the Bible that's mentioned. That's a healing balm. And man, if I could find the balm of Gilead, it'd be the most amazing thing ever, right? Anybody has any problems, I'd go slap some balm of Gilead on them, and they'd be fine.
In
I'm
the
looking for
absence of
that.
the balm of Gilead, I use the tiger balm, from Thailand.
I'm looking for that. I hope I'm the first person that finds it. But anyway, I did find some amazing herbs and superfoods in the Bible, but I couldn't find the right combination. But what the Lord is so good, He led me to this practitioner who was had molecular hydrogen component that it's a capsule. When you stick it in your body creates hydrogen. And when I started researching the health benefits of hydrogen in the body, we took the 7 best biblical herbs that I had been doing research on and combined it with the molecular hydrogen component to create this product called Exodus, right? So it's
Wow,
Exodus
so
strong
sorry
as
to interrupt
it's
you. You
no,
mentioned
yeah.
7 biblical herbs. I'm very curious to know what those 7 herbs are.
Yeah. So that's so important because they really give you the things that your body's lacking. So the first two are organic barley grass and organic wheatgrass. Those are 2 components that they give you nutrients. So most people these days our food supply is messed up, and people are eating out all the time and they're not fueling their body well. So organic barley grass and wheatgrass give you the nutrients. Instead of drinking a green shake every day, grinding up all these things, you can just use the capsule that we've created with barley grass and wheatgrass. Those are the first 2. Then saffron is the most expensive element on earth. It's more expensive than gold, but saffron has a lot of health benefits, and one of them is stress relief. So a lot of people who have anxiety and stress, you can use this saffron that's part of our product, and just you feel good. You don't feel anxious. It really is a nice benefit. And then it goes on to the other product, aloe is got hundreds of health benefits, a lot of gut
Aloe
health.
vera.
Yeah, so it's got aloe vera in it. Yeah, it's a leaf
Aloe
actually,
vera.
which is
Yeah.
where the health
That has
benefits
a
are.
cream. It has like, I don't know, it's a watercolor cream in it.
That's right. You look at the
Yeah.
actual leaf itself
It's
of
green.
a
Yeah,
aloe. Yeah, it's green, and you
yeah.
open it up, and then it's got that the
I don't know what to call it. It's a juice
mixture.
or
Yeah, I don't know what.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you can apply that topically to things, but we've taken that and put it to a capsule, so you
I
get
know
the
it's good for
benefits,
the
and really
skin.
good for your stomach, really good for your health in your
Really?
gut health.
Okay. Wow.
So
Interesting.
that's the 4th one. So organic barley grass, organic wheatgrass, saffron, aloe, and then we have cumin. Cumin's really good for inflammation. So it supports the inflammation within the body. With my podcast called I Am Pain Free, Our podcast, I talk a lot to holistic practitioners, and they mention that your health starts in your gut. So, and inflammation is the source of all disease. So, our product cumin is really good for that. But then also, the last two are frankincense and myrrh, right? And people that have heard those terms mainly be from the Bible. Those are two of the herbs that were gifts that were given to baby Jesus in the Bible. But when you look at them from a health perspective, they also complement the cumin, so they help with the inflammation reduction as well. So you combine, then you look at molecular hydrogen and what it does for people, and you add those 7 biblical ingredients, and they all enhance the effectiveness of what molecular hydrogen does. And that's what I found so fascinating was molecular hydrogen. It's like, holy smokes. Hydrogen is like the base element that God made on this earth. I think it's the smallest element. You look at the periodic table, which if you go back to
Starts with
school, a lot of us
hydrogen.
had to do that.
Hydrogen,
Yeah, the
helium,
H, right?
lithium, beryllium,
Yeah.
boron, carbon,
Good
nitrogen,
job. Good
oxygen,
job.
fluorine, neon, sodium, potassium, and calcium. Yeah.
Good
First 20
job.
elements.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So that hydrogen, right, is a really important element. And the cool thing, there's been thousands of scientific research done on hydrogen. And so what our capsules do is you put it into your body, and when it interacts, it's a magnesium complex. So when it interacts with your stomach, the fluid creates molecular hydrogen. So it's a patented component that is just super cool. And so when your body assimilates that molecular hydrogen, it creates these little micro nanobubbles inside your bloodstream, and it connects to the free radicals, which in the bloodstream, free radicals are bad. Those are the things you want to get rid of. Those are cells that are dying and or just bad cells that shouldn't be there, and it gets rid of them. So that's super cool. It's kind of like the garbage, man. He gets rid of the bad stuff in your bloodstream. But then your mitochondrial process, which is the energy system within your body, the mitochondrial is how your body produces energy. And so the hydrogen also helps the mitochondrial process work better. So it helps get rid of the bad and helps the good do better. So it's like really, really healthy for you. And so you combine those 7 biblical herbs that give you energy for the day, give you the nutrients you need, and then you combine it with reducing, maybe some inflammation and helping with a stress response that this product, and then you add what molecular hydrogen does in the body, and there's really no other product on earth like this product. It's phenomenal. We have this mind, body, spirit connection that we think is very, very important. Remember, because I was doing all that research on frequency medicine and how important your mind is, and then obviously now my relationship with God, I really believe in this. There's a spirit element to our world. The mind, body, spirit thing that a lot of people talk about is real in my mind, and we create a prayer guide that goes with every single product, and it's really because we want you to state the intention. We want, and a lot of people in the business world, you can use your mind, and you can say, I'm going to verbally talk about my intention. I'm going to create a business that does X, Y, and Z. And if you state those intentions and you write your mission down, there's really a lot of power in that. And a lot of business people
Manifesting.
understand that, right? Yeah, you can manifest it. But what I do is I create this intention that is you're going to verbalize with your mouth. And then we have a Bible verse, right? That's related to health. And then we want you to actually say a prayer. So you're combining your intention, the Bible verse, and a prayer together, and that combination really. And the Bible tells us there's power in the tongue, so you need to verbalize it
Absolutely.
out loud, right? And so if you verbalize it out loud, you have the right intentions, and your mind is saying, "I am going to be healed. I am going to be well." You can actually make that happen, because your mind is so powerful. It can literally have an effect. Your mind, it can, without any drugs, it can have a physical effect on your body. So we combine the power of your mind, the power of the Holy Spirit, and the power of the capsule inside your body to help you with your health. And it's really the first company I've ever seen that's doing that, and it's having a dramatic effect on people. The people who are using our product love it. It's really helping them in a dramatic way. I had a heart condition called bradycardia. My heart was just beating really slow, and it had been for decades. So my heart rate was in the 30s, which is really, really low. And so in the afternoon, I would always have to take a nap. And it really made me mad. So I'm like, come on, I shouldn't have to take a nap because I got tired. My body just didn't have enough oxygen. So I used Exodus, and all of a sudden I have this natural energy that I don't need. I used to have to go get an extra 4-shot latte. I loved lattes. I'd take one in the morning, and in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock, if I didn't have my latte, I would have to take a nap. But so
Feels like
instead
your
of that,
body's shutting down.
I would go caffeinate myself, right? Just get all the caffeine, and then later on in the evening, I would crash because I had all this caffeine. But now that I take Exodus, these capsules are just so amazing because it gives me those nutrients that I mentioned, and then it clears out my bloodstream and gives me this natural energy that I don't feel tired. It's just so cool. It's just I get this nice sustained energy. I don't get this high and low, and I never get this drop in energy. So it's just really fun to talk to people about health and say, hey, I want to help you not only with being successful in whatever you're trying to accomplish, right? Because you need to be healthy in order to
Health is
do
wealth.
whatever you're doing. Yeah, if you don't
Health is
have your
wealth.
health, you can't do your job, right? If you are in business and you have a mission to grind and to execute, right? You
To
need
grind and to
the
execute.
exactly. Exactly.
Literally.
Yes. Yeah, literally. If in order to do that, you need to be well. And so that's my mission, right? You're on the outer end. I'm on the beginning end. I'm saying, hey, you've got to take care of your body, right? Take care of your body. Let's get your body healthy. And then guess what? Then when your body's healthy, you can go make an impact on this world, right? And then I want to help people with their faith if they're interested, right? Or you're going to go help them with their business. I'm going to help them with their faith. You're going to help them with their business, and
Collaboration.
we're gonna grind and execute together, right? We're gonna help people holistically from beginning to end. So that's my mission. Is I believe that, honestly to God, I believe that He has me on this earth for a reason. 2 weeks ago is a perfect example of that. So if you want, I can go into that story. But that's a
Whoa,
crazy.
definitely there is a reason for the season. There's a reason for the season, but I'm going to hold back on that because we need you to explain something burning for the audience,
Awesome.
right? I need you to explain your concept of exit the old you. What does that
Yes.
look like in a person's life, right? And of course, you talk about the mind, body, and soul connection. So, how do you exit the old you and,
Yeah. Well,
be
all
reborn
of us.
just like you?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's simple, right? Literally, because you can exit the old you by making a difference and making a change, and that change can be as simple as realization that, hey, I do need to make a change, right? Or I'm just not happy with the way things are going. And guess what? But God made you an incredible body. In fact, if you woke up today and you have breath in your lungs, guess what? God has a plan for your life. So you need to make an impact on this world because He has a plan for you. Just realize that He does have a plan for you. So then you're like, okay, if He has a plan for me, what is my plan? And then you start trying to find out what that plan is. But if you're not healthy, then you're not going to have the mind that's going to be effective to do what you need to do. And you're going to sit on the couch, you're going to Netflix all day, and you're not going to do anything, right?
Couch potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, but if you realize that you have a mission, that God has given you a mission, and you're like, you don't know what your mission is, let's go start trying to find that. But guess what? Let's start getting your body healthy so that then you can exit that old you and into the new you. And when you enter into the new you, it's absolutely phenomenal because you have more energy, you start feeling better, and you start looking for your mission and your passion. And then when you find that passion, you've exited the old you, and you have a mission to go impact the world for good, right? We can make such a huge difference in this world, every single one of us, if we just work on it and we look at and we try to find our passion. And hey, maybe your is to go create this amazing podcast that's going to be the top 1% of podcast in your
By
category,
the
right? And
end
that's
of the
an
year,
amazing mission. Right, yeah, that's an
we're
amazing mission.
currently global top
Let's make that happen.
3%. And yeah, we're heading for that top 1% before at the end of 2025. And of course, I manifesting it here, right here with
Amen.
you. We are on the exodus to global top 1%. And of course, speaking of missions, right? When God gives you a mission, He will give you a provision to
Yes,
actualize that mission.
that's right.
Whoa. And speaking of the mission, right? You actually had a new provision 2 weeks ago. Let's talk about that provision.
That's right. All right. So let's this to set this up a little bit is important because I mentioned that bradycardia condition earlier. That bradycardia, in your heart, you have this upper chamber and you have a bottom chamber, and the upper chamber is where your heart initially the beat starts from. My heart was fluttering so much that it never did the first beat. So there's a backup system in your heart that my body was using. So my body was using the backup, and the backup is really slow. And but I operated that for a very long time, and like 20 years or so I operated that way. I remember when the doctor told me 20 years ago, says you can get a pacemaker now, or you can just continue to live the way God made you, and down the road you can maybe look at something. So I forgot about that. I literally had forgotten about it. So recently I went to go get went to a doctor's visit, and they just to get my blood work done, see how am I doing with my supplements that I'm taking. Is that going to help me? And they're like, "Oh my gosh, your heart rate is so low." Like, yeah, it's in the 30s, and they're like, "Well, there's something wrong." And so they did an EKG on my heart, and they were freaking out about my heart, and they're like, "You need to go see a cardiologist." I'm like, "Man, I remember like 20
Speaking
years
of
ago
heart rates,
this happened."
I'm checking my resting heart rate. What was your resting heart rate?
Yeah, it was in the low 30s, like 32 was my heart rate. So it was really low.
No
So
ways.
she was freaking out,
Okay,
right?
I'm afraid to
What's your
call
heart?
Oh, I'm afraid to call me because it's more than double of 30. So let's
Right.
say double of 35. So do the math.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
Yeah, I'm on
65,
70.
70,
Yes, 70 right
yeah.
now.
Most
Yeah.
people are like that, right? That's what your body's doing. So mine was just operating really low. That's why I got that tired in the afternoon, and there you go. There you go. I love it. But the crazy thing about this is, that doctor told me this is a year ago. The doctor told me I went through all these tests. The cardiologist says you need a pacemaker. You're an anomaly, but you should get a pacemaker. And I'm like, I was like, I'm going to try this naturally. So for a year, I spent thousands of dollars on different holistic treatments and supplements, and trying to figure out a way to fix that upper chamber of my heart so it would start beating. And then, to the story is a little long. I apologize, but it's important because it's a miracle. It literally is a miracle. I got cancer diagnosed 7 months ago. So after I tried to start fixing my heart, I got this cancer diagnosis called melanoma, and I was like, they said I need to go get a removed. So I went to the surgeon. He says, okay, in order to remove it, we need to do surgery. So they do an EKG on my heart, and they're like, we can't do surgery on you. Your heart's not beating, it's too slow. If we put you under sedation, your heart's going to fail. So we can't do surgery. So I'm like, oh, well, crap. So they sent me to another cardiologist, second cardiologist, right? In the last year. He says, you need to get a pacemaker. I'm like, I don't want to do a pacemaker. And so I continue to try to do it on my own. My cancer spread, and now I've got stage 3 cancer, which is very dangerous. Melanoma is really, really a dangerous cancer because it can spread really, really quickly, and I could be gone. A lot of people after it spreads, they only have a few months to live. I'm already 7, 8 months into this. I'm gonna win this battle. I know it because God
By
God
God's
has a
grace.
plan for me. But the crazy thing about this is I said no even after that second one. They ended up doing surgery on my ankle to get my original melanoma spot removed, and that went okay. But then I started talking to my oncologist about this problem in my groin. I've got a tumor, and he's like, we might have to do surgery on that. And the only way we're going to do surgery is if your heart's better. So I had to go to a third cardiologist, and the third cardiologist says I need a pacemaker. So finally I said, okay, okay, okay. I'm going to go get
Pacemaker
my
it is.
pacemaker. So I go get my pacemaker. I'm laying on the surgeon's table, and lo and behold, when they hooked me all up, my backup had failed, and my bottom chamber of my heart was the only thing that was beating. And the bottom chamber of your heart was really, really slow. So my heart rate was 28 when I went into the surgery, and on the table, my heart failed. So I'm literally, my lifespan had gone from, my entire life to sitting, not laying on that table, and my heart finally gave out. But what a miracle that I'm laying in an operating table with heart specialists that were going to insert a pacemaker for me to get my heart beating more often. So they had to rush a temporary one into my heart so my heart could even beat while they were trying to do the rest of the surgery. So then they did end up doing the surgery, and they got my heart working again. And then they backed off the pacemaker so it would try to get my heart to beat again, and my heart wouldn't beat. So if it wasn't for the pacemaker that's literally inside my body now, I would be dead. So I mean, my opinion, I'm a melanoma miracle. I never would have gotten my heart fixed if I would not have gotten melanoma. And so I would have continued to go on this path to just say, I'm going to try to fix my heart naturally, and I would have died. My heart literally stopped. And the only reason I went to get it fixed was because of my melanoma diagnosis. So in my opinion, God saved my life by me getting a diagnosis of cancer. And I went to, now I have a new lease on life. I know God has me here for a reason. There's no way that
Absolutely.
he saved me. I could have easily been, I'm getting an upgrade. If I die, I'm getting an upgrade, right? I'm going to heaven. It's going to be amazing. But, he said, no, you're not done. And so he has a mission for me here on earth. And so I'm passionate about that mission. And I'm really going to help people with their health. I'm really going to help people with their faith. So I'm building this organization that is amazing. We're going to have lots of resources and free resources for people to find information about biohacking. If you want to understand how to make your body better, I'm going to give you all these resources that are ridiculously cool, that are going to help you understand how to use red light therapy, how to use all these tools to make your, do cold plunging. Why do you do cold plunge? I just did a cold plunge, 2 hours ago, right? It's so amazing for your health. So all these things I'm
The
going to
cold
teach you.
plunging, it's
Yeah.
it's a scary proposition.
My gosh,
Very,
it
very scary.
is.
I think the closest I've had to cold plunging is like alternating hot and like extreme cold water in
Yeah.
in the winter months, right? It sort of feels like cold plunging because
Yeah.
when you have that warm bath in winter months and the water coming from the tap is like ice cold. I think there is some sort of health benefits to it, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical
Right.
practitioner, right? I guess we can pack that for later. But
Exactly.
speaking
It's
of
a
your
fun conversation. Yeah.
organization, right? There's a lot of censorship when it comes to natural health
Right.
remedies. And it's actually a recurring theme in your own body of work. Who would you say is behind it? Why does it happen? And of course, how does it affect everyday people trying to achieve wellness?
That's what I'm so excited about now, and the at least in the United States, finally we have this "Make America Healthy Again" initiative, right? We've gotten people into the White House who are really invested in trying to help people. So the big pharma thing is never going to go away because
My God, make America
they
great
own
again.
so much. Yeah, you're right, right. But the Maha one, right? So Make America Healthy Again is an important initiative because people are making changes finally. But so the censorship isn't quite as bad as it used to be, but it's still there. So I want to create these resources that people just go find information, right? About what, if you want to go learn what are the benefits of cold plunging, right? Why does that help you? There's gonna be a cold plunge section within my site. It's like, oh yeah, here it is. Here's the cold plunging. Here's how here's how people recommend it. It's not me recommending. It's like, here's how these amazing practitioners are recommending you do it. And here's the benefits you're gonna get for doing it.
But the kits are quite expensive. That drum, I don't know, it's quite expensive. I don't think it's easily accessible or affordable to the everyday person.
That's
So
right.
I just try to
It's
do my
free.
own improvisation.
No, what's so perfect is I love that because I like to tell people that there's 5 things you can do for free, right? They can just start there. If you do these 5 things and you're going to start your health journey and they're free. So do at least these, and then when you do these 5 things and you start doing it consistently, you're gonna be hooked, because you're gonna start saying, "This is working. This is amazing." And it's like they're simple. So let me run through them real quick. One
Okay.
is just hydration, right? Just getting the right amount of water you need every day, right?
Let's
Yes.
start now.
You need exactly. You need double. If I weigh about 200 pounds, so I need about 100 ounces of water. Right, so half an ounce for every body pound of body weight you are. So just get that hydration. It's super important. Your body's made up of 60% water. Get enough water and try to do filtered water. Right, the tap water is horrible, at least in the United States. Right, there's fluorination in it, and there's all sorts of crap inside your water. So get good water, like you have a bottle that's filtered, hopefully. And then
Hopefully,
that's neat.
keyword.
that, that's a key one. And then the second one is sun, right? That vitamin D discussion. Remember, we talked about that at the beginning. Get outside, and the first
I
45
come from a
minutes of the
country where it's summer all year long, so I love my sauna. I'm sorry.
Exactly. It's very, very important for your skin, right? That you get the vitamin D in your body, and it really, charges your body. It's phenomenal. So that one's free, right? You can go out and get that fresh for the first 45 minutes of the day. It's called blue light, and that blue light is very helpful. There's no UV rays. It's just very, very good light for you. And then I like to go, when I go out and do my morning sun, I like to combine it with the other two. The other one is grounding. You take your socks and shoes off and get your feet on God's given earth, right? And that
I've heard
grounding
about
is
that.
really, really important. It discharges the negative energy in your body and recharges it with good energy. And it's phenomenal. It really works. My wife used to give me such a hard time because I hate it. I have really sensitive feet. So I didn't like to
Oh,
take off my shoes, right? I always wanted to have my shoes on. And then I started researching the benefits of grounding. I'm like, oh crap. I got to go do this. I can sell you a $5,000 grounding mat, and you can put it in your office, and you can put your feet on that grounding mat, and it will do the same thing.
oh,
But
really?
why not just do it for free? Go outside, put your feet on God's given earth, and it's going to do the same exact effect. So do that, right? It's free. And then the fourth one is just breathing techniques, right? There's breathing techniques that you can do. Like you said, I mentioned earlier, God gave you this breath, right? That's literally the first thing he did to man is he breathed his breath into Adam. That was the first human that he ever created. And so we have this breath from God. And if you go out and if you can do these breathing techniques, there's a specific way you can do it, like 7 or 8 minutes long, and you
Yeah,
breathe in deep,
breath work is
hold,
actually
and
very important. I have an
yes.
episode on this
Do you?
podcast
Okay,
speaking
awesome.
about breath work and stretches
It's perfect.
with
Perfect.
Cindy Hernandez.
Yeah, that's awesome. So people go. Wim Hof is a very popular person who's got these things. They're just free. You can go look research Wim Hof, WIMHOFF, and he's got these techniques that are simple. You just do that for 7 minutes, and it will extend your life for 7 years. So why not add another 7 years to your life, right? And all you're doing is breathing. Like, can you breathe, right? Everybody listen to this can breathe. It's just so if you do this structured way, it just gets all this oxygen inside your body. And you're just like, what? That's amazing. So it's free. So there's 4 of them. And then the fifth one is just start putting the right nutrients into your body, right? If you get the right nutrients in the body, God made this body so incredibly cool that if you give it the right nutrients, it will start healing itself. And so just start being conscious. So try to get closer to the farm as possible, get whole foods and eat real foods from the farm as close as you can get to it.
Organic
And
food.
don't eat all this processed food. This ultra processed food just is bad for us, and it doesn't give you the nutrients you need. So anyway, that's my 5 things. Man, everybody can do those, right? Just start watching the nutrients you eat. Get fruit and vegetables, and mainly vegetables and the things that have nutrients, or just use Exodus, right? Exodus is going to give you a lot of the nutrients you need, right? You can do that too.
Exodus Exodus will take you to the Genesis
That's
and
right.
lead you to the
It'll
revelation.
exit the old you, right?
Lead you to the revelation of your
That's
health
right.
journey.
That's right. He's going to lead you to the promised land, right? That's the whole idea.
Pun
The Lord took people
intended.
out of Egypt into the promised land. So
Whoa.
let's take you there.
But I have a quick question. I have a quick question though. Like you lot medical practitioners, alternative, would I say, medicine practitioners as well. I'm so sorry, no disrespect, but I feel like you lot don't place enough emphasis on exercise, you know,
Right.
in terms of wholesome health and wellness. You place a lot of emphasis on diet and nutrition, but I'd love for you to touch on the ultra important role of exercise. And of course, you being an ex-athlete, I think that should be
Yeah.
very important to you.
It's very, very, very important, to be honest. So I actually should say that. I guess I should start saying a sixth one, because my fifth one used to be walking, right? Because that, and maybe I just need to transition that in as
Please,
walk.
please,
But
please bring in the sixth sense,
yeah,
so
exactly.
that
I'm
we
gonna
can
have to
get
do.
to seventh heaven.
Yeah, I need to have seven, right? I got to find two. I got to find
Yeah,
two more. So I guess I already found the six. So here, the six is definitely walking, right? Walking is so
you know the
good
seventh
for you.
one. You know the seventh
Yeah,
one.
I'm in. What is it? What's my seventh one? I'm
It's
excited.
money. It's money.
There you go. But that's not free. You gotta have that, right? But you can manifest it, right?
Yeah. Well, you have
Once you
money,
get the
you're happy. Don't
XLB,
worry.
you do those first six things, and then you're gonna be able to make money. And if you don't do those first six, then you're
Why leave 7 extra years when you cannot spend 7 extra millions?
That's right. That's right. I love it. So, but yeah, no, I 100% agree that exercise is very, very, very important to your health. And I used to be a runner, right? And I used to hate when people called me a jogger, because I'm like, I'm not a freaking jogger. I'm a runner, right? But now I'm a walker. It's even worse.
Johnny Walker.
Exactly, a dirty walker. But walking is so healthy because it's literally gets your entire body moving, and it's something everybody can do, right? Everybody can do. So you could combine the sun you get in the morning, you could combine the grounding, you could combine the breath work, and you could combine walking as that, and there you go. You got four things you're doing all at once. So you don't it doesn't have to take you 2 hours to do your routine. You can do it in a short half hour. You get your walking in, you get the breathing techniques done, you get some sun on your body, you ground your feet for 5 to 10, 15 minutes, whatever you can do, and your health is going to transform. I promise you. It's amazing what you're going to see when you do that and do it consistently. And boom, people are going to start saying, "Nah, this guy is not crazy. He knows what he's talking about." And it's not me. It's like I've learned this from all these holistic practitioners I'm working with. It's like every single one of them, if I would ask them, are these six things important to you? And every single one of them is going to say yes. Yes, that's important. Yes, that's important. Yes, every single one. There's not a doubt in my mind that any practitioner that you're going to that who understands how the human body works is going to say those things are great for you. What the problem is, most of our doctors in the United States, anyway, they've been trained on Western medicine. And Western medicine, they go through 12 years of schooling, and they get taught nutrition maybe one class out of 12 years. So do you think they remember anything about nutrition? No, they have no clue about nutrition and how that helps the body. And so they're just looking at, they're a specialist in one particular expertise, which they're probably great at that, and that's fine. We need those people. Like I needed the heart specialist, right? Thank God for that God put heart specialists on this earth, right? Because they saved my life, and I believe that God put me there, and I believe that I'm a miracle because of that. So I don't want to ever disparage the health care industry. The men and women who work in the healthcare industry are amazing, right? They really have a heart to help people. They're trying to help people, but the system is all messed up. So the system is just incentivized on money and not helping people. And I think there's a big change going on in the world, that people are opening up their eyes to, one, the corruption, but then two, just how bad our food system is and our food supply, and how bad that is for you. And you see all the charts of cancer are going through the roof, diabetes is going through the roof, all these things are going through the roof, that really bad, because we're not taking care of ourselves. So once you start realizing that, you're like, oh, I can reverse cancer with just doing these things. I can reverse diabetes by doing these things. I can, it's like you start looking at all these things that you can do. And that's why I'm just going to be building this resource of information for people. It's going to be really valuable information that people can have access to. And I'm going to have AI tools in there to help them research different components and to give them recommendations, right? Meal plans and all different types of things. It's just like, hey, what do the experts say about this? What do the experts say about this? And it's not going to be Rob. It's going to be me taking the best of all these amazing people who've been before, who've already educated people on a lot of this information. I'm
I love
gathering
the
it
idea
all.
of the AI tool.
Yeah, the AI tool is going to be amazing, right? It's going to be an AI biohacking tools, and this biohackingville community that I'm creating is going to be ridiculously cool because it's going to give people so much information that's going to help them healthy wise and physically, and then mentally, and then spiritually, right? So we have a spiritual connection and component in there if you're interested in that, right? You want to know why you should read the Bible? We're going to have information in there on that. If all you want to come in and just learn about cold plunge therapy or the breathing techniques you mentioned or
You seem to be
exercise,
a cold plunge emphasis.
we're gonna make sure exercise is a big part of that.
Whoa, and of course,
So
I am an AI enthusiast. And of course, you talk about cool. Do you know what is super cool? It's the
what?
fact that you are talking to AI. You can see my screen. The audience cannot see the initials, right? But what are my initials?
AID, AIO. AIO.
AI.
There you go. AI. There
I
you
am
go. There you go. Yeah. I love it. I didn't realize that. I love it.
Oh, you did
You
not
are the
realize
AI.
you've been
You are
speaking
the
to
AI
AI all the
lion.
while.
You are the AI lion. I love it.
Whoa, I always tell people that my parents knew the assignment. They knew this guy's gonna love AI when it comes, and they were like, "Oh, let's give him the initials. Let's codify it."
There you go. Let's
Shout out to my
codify it.
parents. They
Yeah.
knew. They knew.
Yeah. Exactly. They were smart before we even knew it. Right. I
I am
love it.
telling you, I love AI tools. I love the efficiency that AI gives you, right?
Yeah. It
It's
can be used
the
for good and
math.
for bad. Right.
Yeah, but I take the good side.
Yeah, exactly.
Positive
That's
energy
that's
only.
that's my that's my world, right? I'm like, hey, yes, it can be used for bad, but guess what? Let's figure out ways to use it for good, and let's help people with it,
Absolutely.
right? Because some of this information is so buried and so complex and so hard to understand.
Uh-huh.
It's like you get these your blood results right back, right? You're like, what is all this? What do all these things mean, right? But
Uh-huh.
you can plug it into AI and it tells you in a second, right, what it analyzes your blood. And then you could take your genetics and do the same thing. So you
Uh-huh.
start combining your blood work with your genetics and all the things that you can do. And then it's like, oh, guess what? Maybe with your specific type of cancer, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing that. It's just there's so much information that's out there that's hard to understand. The
Uh-huh.
AI can help us automate, right? So she's gonna
Absolute
help us help
optimization.
people. Yeah, let's optimize people's health in a very positive way. Give them the tools that they don't have, and let's just help the world, right? Be a better place. And if we can have a positive impact on people's lives, it's going to just snowball, right? And I believe that's why I'm here on this earth. Is that he put me here to make a difference in people's health and their fates. That's all I'm focused on. I'm gonna build biohackingville, and it's gonna be amazing. And if you want to use my supplements, great, because they're cool. They really help you a lot. If you want to use my skin patches, great. They're cool. They really help as well. But you know what? I'm here to help you. And if you have a certain health condition, and I have some information about that I've gathered, I want you to have access to it. I want you to get to it for free, and I want you to just help yourself. And then guess what? We'll find out ways to monetize this system over time. But right now, it's just like value. We want to provide a front load of value for people, and then, geez, there's going to be great things we can do. Right? Maybe someone needs to go on a trip to Mexico to get a treatment plan. That they only do that treatment plan in Mexico. So maybe we facilitate trips there. There's all sorts of ways that I can monetize this in the future. But that's not the goal. The goal is to let's go help people. And then as I'm helping people, God's going to provide. He'll provide a
Uh-huh.
way. And I'm not sure what that way will be, but I know that he's going to provide it. So I'm just going to build it, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I love the value proposition, and I had, or would I say, I studied economics for my first degree, and in economics class, they taught us money is a store of value. So if you offer value, you only deserve to receive value in return. I'm going to pick you on something you said. You are a walker, right? Is that the reason why you are Exodus strong? Because the children of Israel did walk to
Yeah,
the
walking
promised
is
land.
just super important to me now. I used to run right before my cancer diagnosis. I would run 3 days a week, but with my specific tumor and cancer, I can't run right now. So hey, I walk, and walking out of the the dungeons in Egypt, right, and into the promised land. And they had to walk, right? They walked a really, really,
Absolutely.
really, really long time. So walking is
Hence the
super
name
important.
Exodus Strong. And,
That's
Nelson
right.
Mandela wrote a book. The title of the book is A Long Walk to Freedom.
I love it. I love it. And I love to lift weights too, right? So I'm you can't tell, but I'm not in bad shape for 57. I like to lift weights, and I think it's important, right? You lift weights and you use up a lot of energy, and you build muscle. Muscle is way better than fat, right, inside your body.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, it's just I'm having a blast doing just getting well, right? And I am so much healthier than I was a year ago, even though I have this diagnosis and I have this tumor in my body. My body I've turned it into a fighting machine. My body is fighting off anything that comes into my body, and I'm going to fight off this cancer because I'm doing all the research, I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do, and I'm getting the right treatments, and I'm not doing chemotherapy. I'm not doing things that are in radiation. The standard of care in the United States for cancer just sucks. So I'm doing immunotherapy for my particular cancer, but I'm also doing a whole list of holistic treatments. And I'm just excited about learning all of this information because I'm meeting all these awesome, cool doctors who've been helping people for decades, right? So I'm able to learn from them. I'm gonna say, man, not only do I want to learn it, but I want to pass it forward. I'm gonna have this integrative oncology section within Biohackingville that's like, hey, when people get diagnosed with cancer, guess what? You need to go find out this information for my specific version of melanoma. I've got stage 3 melanoma, and I have a BRAF mutation. You're like, what the heck is a BRAF mutation? BRAF mutation is just a genetic component of my particular version of cancer. And then what's crazy cool about this is you start researching about the BRAF mutation. And I learned that I was on the wrong diet for the first 6 months of my cancer regime. I was on a keto diet,
Keto
and the
diet.
BRAF mutation feeds off of saturated fat. So it feeds off of glucose is the first thing it feeds off of, which is
I thought as
sugar,
much.
right? So we talked about that sugar one. Well, cancer just feeds off of sugar. So yeah, I immediately cut out all sugar. That's why I went on the keto diet. But the problem with my specific version of melanoma, this BRAF mutation, it feeds off of saturated fat. And I ate a lot of saturated fat because the keto diet is high fat,
High
low
fat.
carbohydrate,
Low
right? So
carbs.
I was doing it wrong. I was feeding my cancer early on with saturated fats. And I didn't know that. But see, the more information you learn about your specific situation, my specific body, and my particular cancer, my gosh, there's so much good information out there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. So now I'm on a modified keto diet. I've taken out a lot of the saturated fats. So really low carbohydrates, no sucrose, no sugars, and the really low saturated fat. And guess what? I know I'm going to win. God is going to heal me
I got
supernaturally,
prayers.
or I'm going to be healed through the doctors and practitioners like they did with my heart, right? These amazing practitioners helped me with my heart, and I'm interviewing these awesome practitioners and saying, hey, how are you helping people? What are you doing? What should they do? And that's fun. They're saying, well, you should go get this genetic test, you should go to get this, you should do that. And I don't want to just take it for me. I want to say, great, here, everybody else who gets cancer, come look, this is what multiple doctors are recommending. you know pick the one you want. That's for you. And hey, guess what? If you have malignant melanoma and you have the BRAF mutation, hook me up. I'll hook you up. I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure you know what I know, so you can be better and be well. So that's gonna be my contribution the society is putting together this amazing community of resources that are going to help people in a dramatic way. And biohacking is super fun, right? So I want to start people with something
Yeah,
fun.
that's actually super fun. And you know, oh, okay. A thought crossed my mind, right? Before I talk about biohacking, one thing with biohacking is the whole radiation and frequency thing, right? So
Yes.
frequency medicine, which is actually not mainstream, right?
Right.
I'd like for you to talk about what it is and how it has played a role in your healing. But before we delve into that, I remember you talked about having a low saturated fat diet and low carbs. And that reminds me of the Mediterranean diet, right? I've had the opportunity to taste the Mediterranean cuisine and looking at the way they do their barbecues, for example. The meat is tasty, and of course, they serve it with a lot of salads, right? It looks really
Mhm.
healthy. And
A lot of spices, right?
yeah, the spices, and it's amazing to see how healthy food can be made to look cool at the same time
And tastes good.
and taste
You
good.
can actually,
So
yeah,
I'd
it
like for
tastes
you
good.
to talk about it before we hit because
Okay.
I'm not a very big foodie, but like I love
No, yeah, people.
tasty
I
food.
I I love tasty food too, right? And when I was going through my corporate career, right, I was heavy. I was probably 50 pounds heavier than I am now, and I just ate whatever I want. I drank all the time. I'm 7 years sober now, so I haven't had anything to drink
Congratulations.
for 7 years. I'm super happy about that. So I've obviously made mistakes in my life, right? I'm not
Mhm.
perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes, but at
We
the
all
same
make
point,
mistakes.
yeah, we're all sinners to be honest, right?
Mhm.
But at the same point, I'm learning from them, and I'm making myself better. And so every step along the way, I'm making myself better. This Mediterranean diet is really interesting because I still modify the Mediterranean diet a little bit. I don't do near as many carbs that are on the Mediterranean diet, so I still do low carb. But man, there's some you can make really good meats, right?
Yeah, the
And
proteins
the
is
things you
what
can,
I am very
the
particular
protein is
about.
so good. But
It's
yeah,
smoked so I don't know, like would I say dry and lean, and it feels like there's literally no fat in it, and it
right.
still tastes good.
Yeah,
And
and then you can
the
do.
veggies, right, and
Yeah, the
spices,
veggies, and then you add, most people don't they think of fruits and vegetables as just a health food, and
boring.
vegetables, most people don't like it because it just doesn't taste good. But man,
Mhm.
if you cook it right, you can add the right, things in the spices and the right elements, the right oils, right? Because the oils can be really
Yes.
bad too, right? The seed oils are
Yeah.
just horrible for you.
Mhm.
But so you can get these good, like avocado oil, and you can mix it with good spices, and man, you can really dress up those beans and the things that you used to not think you were any good as a child. And it's like, wow, that really tastes good. Asparagus is amazing. That beans are really, or cauliflower. You can make this crust on top of cauliflower that is just delicious. And you're like, cauliflower, that's disgusting. But it's not. It's so but so anyway, I'm my wife just laughs too because she is not a cook. And so I was like, hey,
Mhm.
I have to eat this diet. So I got to start learning how to prepare this stuff for myself. And so she and I we worked together on a cauliflower head, right? And we baked it the other day, and it was really fun because it was like, wow, it really turns that hard cauliflower into this soft caramelized texture, and then you have these good spices on top, and it tastes really good, and you're like, this is cauliflower. That's not the cauliflower I was thinking of when
I
I
know.
when I eat cauliflower.
To be honest, right, when I did, try it, I felt like I had a rude awakening. Healthy food can actually
Dry and doesn't cauliflower
tasty.
in and of itself just
Mhm.
doesn't taste like anything really. It's just like this, you're putting this thing in your mouth, and it's like, don't even taste much. But yeah, you can do some fun. Broccoli's like super good with fiber and things like that. So I'm doing a lot of high fiber, low carb, proteins. Get good proteins, lots of nutrients, right? And I use lots of supplements that go along with it to make sure that I'm doing things accurately and getting all the nutrients my body needs to fight this battle. So I'm having a blast. learning how to do that.
Wow, amazing, super amazing. So now let's talk about the frequency medicine. So I
Right.
have my own frequency patches right here.
Yes.
I think I did show you. I don't know where
Not
I'm
as good as
tossing them
mine, but
right now.
it
Oh,
is it is fascinating, right? Because I this is literally one of the things I thought was just stupid. I really did. When I was first introduced to it, I'm like, "Give me a break."
I
I
honestly
saw
thought it was ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
And I think
exactly.
my chiropractor gave me some. This is my phone right here. I still have my 5G one right
There
here.
you go. That's right. That's right. And here are my little patches, right? This is the whoops, I'm upside down. This is the fatigue to vitality patch. And this patch is just really small, right? It's a little teeny thing and little looks like a little sticker. You put it on your
Oh,
body. I'll put it on the side here just so you can see it, right? So I would normally put it underneath my collar on my back. But the cool thing about this is what we do is we spray a little crystalline structure on the top of it. And these little crystalline structures can hold information, similar to how a computer can hold information, right? A hard drive on your computer holds all the ones and zeros that are on your computer. These little crystals and structures, the crystalline structure can hold information. So we program it with frequencies and we program it literally with data as well. So we include 40 Bible verses on our patch. The ones and zeros of those words get imprinted on the patch. We implement the frequency and it's called subtle energy. So when you do research on frequencies, you'll see lots of different types of frequencies. And there's all different types of frequency machines that will you can dial up and down the frequency and then you can change music, right? And you can change the frequency of the music and there's all different types of frequencies. This is stuff that I didn't know, but as I was researching all of it, I'm like, "Oh, wow, this is fascinating. It's way more complicated than I thought it was." And this subtle energy is sometimes also called quantum energy because quantum energy is like another realm that is really interesting. And as you start researching the human body, you realize your energy system is outside of your body, which I know sounds weird, but it's true. So there's some people call it an aura, but you have this energy field around you as a human being. God made us this way. This isn't something funky or new age or strange. This is the way God made our human bodies, and we're still figuring out our human body. The even all the research and scientists we've done, they still haven't figured out how to measure quantum energy. And there's now some new tools that maybe they've figured out ways to monitor some of this stuff. But what's cool about subtle energy is it's something you can't measure typically, but we can still know that it works by the effects that it has on the body. So we've done research that says, okay, let's apply this patch to someone and let's put on an EEG monitor, like those hats you put on that have all the wires coming out of your hat, and it monitors your brain waves. And so when you put this patch on, within 5 seconds, your brain waves, like if someone's in pain, one of our patches is a relief patch. And that relief patch, what people that are in pain, they'll come in and their brain waves are going like this because it's like really up and down because their brain is stressed out because their body's stressed out. And so the brain waves are going up and down quite heavily. When they apply our solution to their body, the brain waves they start smoothing out. Like it happens like really quickly.
wow.
Oh my gosh!
Is it one of those patches that also generates heat as well?
Oh,
Of,
this one doesn't. I
okay.
think there's some that are, and they trap light, and there's some other
Yeah.
ones. But
And when you take it
this
off,
one,
you see some matter that has been extracted from your body as well.
yeah. So there's all different types. There's even patches that put medicine inside your body, right? But these patches that we do, just 100% natural. It just has that quantum energy field in it, and it connects
Okay.
to your energy system, and then it helps with certain conditions. So we program it specifically for those conditions. So if you have, you know, something that's hurting you, we have a patch for that. And then what that does, it interrupts the signal from the issue you're having to your brain. And so all of a sudden your body doesn't recognize that you have that anymore. It's like I had this one woman who came and she couldn't lift up her arm. She'd been doing this repetitive motion. Guess what this repetitive motion is at a casino? right? So she was dealing cards for decades. In the last 10 years of her career, she had to have her elbow tucked in, and she couldn't move her shoulder. It was so worn out. And she tried our patch, and she came back to me an hour later. She lifted up her arm, and she was just smiling from ear to ear, just going, I can't believe it. And I was like, what? And she's like, I haven't been able to lift my arm for 10 years. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, seriously, I haven't been able to put a purse on my shoulder because it just falls off. And she came back the next day and said, I wore it last night to sleep, and I slept better than I had because I'm always in pain when I'm sleeping.
Oh,
And I was just like, wow, this is so amazing. So we've taken that product out to the world, and we're helping people in a really dramatic way with that's no drugs, right? It's and so obviously some people don't like that we have these solutions because they can't they can't they can't patent it, and they can't, we're helping people, so I have to be a little careful about it. But hey, I'm trying to help the world, and so if something happens to me, then that's what God wanted to happen. So anyway, yeah, these frequencies are real. Something I thought was hocus pocus, and it's not. It's actually real, and they have a physical impact on the body, and they can make changes in on the body, and you can do it for really inexpensive. So it's like that's game changing for people. So that's I'm passionate about getting the patches to people because it's like, wow, it can really make a big difference. And so we termed the company QE Strong for quantum energy strong. So QE Strong is where you can find those patches, and they're phenomenal. They're really helping people in a dramatic way. And then you combine it with our supplement, man. You can't lose, right? You got frequencies on your body. You got capsules inside your body. You're using the mind body spirit connection. We got you covered, man. From head to toe, you're gonna be
wow.
well. We give you all these AI tools to go research your problem and then how to help. And it's going to say, hey, wake up and go get your sun, go do your breathing techniques, go do your walking, get your exercise in, get that hydration in, and get that sun on your face and your feet on the ground. And man, you're going to be a better person. And then you're going to, man, when your job, you're going to have so much energy and exercise with your work, you're going to make such a big difference in this world because you got yourself well and you got yourself healthy. And then start reading the Bible and have a relationship with your Lord and Savior, and that you're gonna transform the world.
Health is wealth. Let's talk about Celtic salt. I have this
Yes.
right here. What's the what I say health benefits of
Yeah,
Celtic
salt
salt?
has got such a bad rap because most people think salt is horrible, and iodized salt is really bad for you. The table salt that most people think of is salt because that is bad. But Celtic salt is amazing because it has like 80 to 90 nutrients in it that you need. Your body needs like 96 nutrients every day,
Wow.
and most people are not getting those nutrients. So the
80
awesome
to
thing
90?
about Celtic
Okay.
salt,
Or what
yeah, you
quantity should I take?
well, no, not a lot. Yeah, a pinch is
Should
all
I
you
down the whole thing?
yeah, yeah. You don't wanna do that. I promise you, you're not gonna feel very well if you do that. So it's important you take a pinch. You take a pinch and you put it under your tongue, and it gets into your system right away. And some people even just pinch it into their water in the morning, and some people also add lemon water in or lemon into their water. So you do get
So
that
that's
water in
good.
the morning. You put a
Lemon
little bit
water.
of a pinch of Celtic salt and lemon in your water, and the benefits are just off the chart, right? You look at what those three things do for you. It's like, why not?
Yep.
Why would you not put those extra nutrients inside your body? And you can do that a couple times throughout the day with that salt, and then just start using that Celtic salt on different things. Like when you're cooking, add a little bit of Celtic salt. When you're doing a salad, right, you put a little bit of Celtic salt in there. You're not going to notice that whatever the salad dressing and other things you're putting on the salad, you're not going to notice that you added that extra Celtic salt, and it's going to give you the same benefit. Right, your body still utilizes it. So it's just something I definitely add to most meals, and that I do every morning. Take a little bit of the Celtic salt.
Wow. Interesting. Thank you very
You bet. You caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting that, but I like it.
Oh wow. So
But changing
I
what
think
comes out of this noggin. It's like, wow, I'm learning.
golden golden nuggets. You're
That's
not from
right.
Denver. I would have say you're a fan of the Denver Nuggets. Anyway,
Oh, no, 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 definitely not. I came from Portland, so I'm a Portland
a
Trailblazer fan, you know?
trailblazer. Yeah, you are a
Yeah. No, I
trailblazer.
live in Dallas, Texas, and I should be a Cowboys fan, but I hate the Cowboys. I'm a Chicago Bears fan of all things. Like, how do I like the Portland Trailblazers and the Chicago Bears? I don't get it, but that's what happened just
Americans
as I
love their
grew up.
sport,
That's what I like. Yeah.
and they're very loyal to their teams.
Oh, my teams are not good. It's like, oh, brother, but you got to ride or die with them, right? So
Ride or die. I was gonna ask you about the whole molecular hydrogen thing because it's really a centerpiece to your formula, right? For the education of our audience, what
yeah.
is molecular hydrogen and why is it central to your formula?
It's key. It's literally key to it's a foundation of our product, and it's very, very important. And the more research I did on, that's why I got so excited. This practitioner who joined forces with us to create Exodus, the molecular hydrogen has been helping people in a really significant way, helping people with really big problems. And this just by having molecular hydrogen inside the body, it does great things. So I'm like, how does it do that? And so I started doing that. Guess that research word, right? That thing's been so instrumental to my existence this last 5 or 6 years. Is like I love doing research. So I started researching the heck out of frequencies, for that business and what we were doing. And I started researching molecular hydrogen. I'm like, what is this? What does it do? And what I found was crazy cool. There's three websites that are super easy to remember that you can go to. There's hydrogenstudies.com. You go to hydrogenstudies.com, and there's literally thousands of scientific reports that have been done on the benefits of hydrogen. So you can go search it and say, hey, I have this, or well, my mom has this, and you do a search, and then it just shows you all the scientific evidence of how that has helped people with certain issues. So it's really, really fascinating to see all the things that it can help with, because it's the things that we're talking about that I've talked about today are energy. I've talked about inflammation. I've talked about a stress response. I've talked about gut health. Those types of things. You start doing research on hydrogen, and it helps with all those. But it also helps with a lot of other things I haven't even talked about. That's what's so awesome about this product is it's so much more than what we're presenting it as. But if you tell people, hey, this product's going to help you with these 20 things, they're going to say, oh, come on, give me a break. You just can't position it that way, right? People don't believe it. But the fun thing is when you start researching hydrogen, the benefits to the human body are awesome. And then so that's hydrogenstudies.com. And then you can go to molecularhydrogenstudies.com. So that's more specific to molecular hydrogen. And molecular hydrogen is just a small micro nanobubbles that get created inside the body. And then there's a molecular hydrogen institute.org. And
Wow.
that organization is all about just researching molecular hydrogen. So they've got an institute, and you can become certified, which I'm certified as a molecular hydrogen specialist, right? So it's like, wow, cool, but it doesn't mean anything. But it's cool that I it's cool that I've learned a lot about molecular hydrogen, right?
Too cool
So
for school.
yeah, I'm too cool for school. I should put this thing up a big plaque says molecular hydrogen specialist. But it is fascinating. They do research on this product a lot, and it's really cool to see all the things that it's helping people with, and then to know that we've got a product that's unlike any other product in the market, and it creates molecular hydrogen inside the body, and it's just like it's just so fun because it's helping people, and the stories we're getting are awesome. And I know that it's going to be something that you're going to be able to get this product worldwide in believe in the next 12 months. Right now, we sell mainly in North America, but we are working on relationships with some really large organizations who have distribution facilities all across the globe. And we want to take this product out to the world because this product deserves to be in every single country, and everybody needs to have access to this product because it's that good. It's that one of those products that it's not like your mama's supplement, right? Your mama's supplement. Might be something
Americans
taste
and your
nasty.
mama jokes. One of the first words that I ever heard was, "Your mama is so fat." When she walked across the TV, they had just shown one episode of Everybody Hates Chris. I was like, "What? Americans? I love you guys, but sometimes you can be ridiculous."
We can be. Amen.
Oh,
I claim that. Yeah, we can be. So mama jokes aside,
your
right?
mama joke.
My mama's up in heaven laughing at me right now. She's like, "Oh my God, can't believe you're talking about jokes about me."
Your mama jokes. Americans. Give me one of those. I can't even. That's the one I have heard first, and it always makes me laugh every time because
That
I did watch Everybody Hates Chris for a bit. I'm not a movie person, but yeah, bits and pieces, right?
yeah,
But
yeah. There,
what are the
yeah.
popular ones?
I can't. There's some I can't say on the show. It's just like
You are allowed to say anything, anything. Feel free.
God, God will strike me down. So you're
Oh,
Uh,
whoa,
so
whoa.
yeah, I try to stay away from. I'll be clean. I'll try to stay away from the nasty jokes. But
From the nasty one.
but we're
Okay,
having a
so
lot of fun. We're laughing. You know, another fun thing that's absolutely healthy for you and that's free is laughing. I mean, so seriously, honestly,
there's another one. They say your mom is
there
so
is. Yeah,
fat. When she
there we
got
go.
on the scale, it said, "I need your weight, not your phone number."
That's good. I could look. I could look some up, but I just can't do
Your mom is so fat. I took a picture of her last Christmas, and it's still printing.
it.
Americans, why? Americans,
That's
why?
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And of
But,
course, the last one I'm going to tell you is your mom
oh
is so
boy.
fat. When she went to the beach, a whale swam up and sang, "We are family, even though you are fatter than me."
Oh, that's pretty
Whoa.
amazing. Oh,
America,
that's
the land
pretty
of the
good.
free and the home of the
Yeah.
brave. The home of the brave, indeed.
Home of the brave.
Fortune
That's right.
favors
We
the
gotta have
brave.
some fun, right? You can't
Yeah.
have fun in life, and why are we here? So, yeah. But actually, that laughter is great medicine. Really, really good medicine.
Yeah, they
Gets
say laughter is
your
the best
stomach
medicine.
going. It's like that's why people when they laugh so much, their stomach hurts. Is because it's physical. You're doing all these things, and your body's laughing, and it's just really good for your mental state and good for your health too. It's like so. Obviously, you can tell I love health because I end up equating all these crazy things into how does that help me with my health. Just because I'm so passionate about helping people, right? I really want to help people in a dramatic way. Yeah, I just that's why God has got me on this earth. So I'm just going to keep pounding it, and I'm going to say, hey, Biohackingville is going to be this amazing community. Come join me on my mission, and let's help the world together. Right? If you're passionate about something within the biohacking world, man, let's go do research it together, and let's find all the cool resources. Let's get them on the community, and let's just help the world. So I'm
Okay,
finding all these
speaking of something
ambassadors,
I'm
and yeah,
passionate
it'll be
about,
fun. Yeah.
antioxidants, and of
Yes.
course, you
Yes.
say that Exodus is a blend that is a master antioxidant. So what does that mean, and why does it matter?
Yeah, so we go back to that molecular hydrogen component. So that molecular hydrogen has been proven to be a master or what a lot of people call it selective antioxidant. I call it master because that word makes better sense to me. A selective antioxidant. So let's say what an antioxidant is first. An antioxidant just it takes stuff within your bloodstream and gets rid of them. So that's what the antioxidants will do that. And the bad thing about an antioxidant, it gets rid of a lot of good stuff. So it will just take stuff out of your bloodstream, and maybe it's taking little carriers that were taking nutrients to a cell, and the antioxidant just takes it away. And it's like, oh, your cells needed that nutrient. Why did you take it away? And that's not smart. Where molecular hydrogen is so cool that it's called a selective antioxidant. So it goes and finds the bad things, the free radicals, the things that are
Yeah,
not supposed
yeah,
to be there,
basically fighting off the
and
free radicals.
it connects the free radicals and gets rid of them. But then it helps the mitochondrial process work better. That's why it's called a selective antioxidant, because it only searches and destroys the bad, and gets rid of the bad. That's why it's so instrumental in people's health. So I'm glad you pointed that out because it's something I had missed to talk about because it's so critical to the benefit of molecular hydrogen. Right? Is that capability? That's why I mentioned there's so many good things about molecular hydrogen. It's like it's kind of off the chart. It's like wow. This is super, super good. Why doesn't everybody not have it now? All of a sudden, Gary Brecka and all these people that are really big into health, they're selling these hydrogen water bottles that are expensive, like $300 bottles that you click a button and it puts hydrogen in your water, and those are good. I mean, it's better than other water, but the problem is if you don't drink it immediately, all that hydrogen it diffuses really quickly. So it creates it quick, but then it also diffuses really quick. So if you don't drink it immediately, it's going to be wasted. And then by the time it goes into your stomach or into your esophagus, in your mouth, into your esophagus, into your stomach, it diffuses. By the time it gets into your stomach and then your body assimilates it, there's not much hydrogen left. So so that's why ours is so cool. You get the capsule, you put the capsule in your mouth and it goes into your stomach and then your stomach assimilates it and your body creates the hydrogen. So since your body's creating the hydrogen, it assimilates it in a much stronger fashion. So much better than delivering it via the water, or even you can get these oxygen things. You put this little oxygen thing in your nose and you're breathing hydrogen, and that's good too. It just doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. Whereas if you put it inside those little those nanobubbles I talked about inside your bloodstream, since it's in your bloodstream, it does cross the blood-brain barrier. So it'll help people with cognitive issues. And you go look at hydrogen, how does it help with cognitive issues? And it's like wow, there's a lot of different things that it helps you be clearer. Just go research that, right? Yeah, it's like I'm not going to make claims on anything of anything that we do. We can't claim anything. Our product helps, but it's just fun when you go look at the cognitive benefits of hydrogen, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. Can do a
Go
lot
down
of
the
things.
rabbit hole of research.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to research. It's a lot of fun, and people just even in college students should be using this instead of doing a late night binge of caffeine. They should be doing Exodus, and it's gonna give them the energy they need, but it's also gonna give them that mental acuity, right, and clarity. And then
Mental
when they go,
resilience.
yeah, before they take that test the next day, they should be taking Exodus so they could go and remember all that stuff that they just crammed,
Yeah,
right?
so that
So.
Exodus can take them to the promised land,
That's right,
basically.
that's right. You're gonna get an A on that test, baby, because you took your exit.
So, there are thousands and millions of supplements out there. What
Yeah,
separates Exodus from the pack? Why is it
yeah,
different from
there's way too
the
many
others
of
that
them.
our listeners have seen or heard about?
100% different because of the combination. The mind, body, spirit thing is the first one. No other product is gonna combine you saying a prayer out loud, using your mind to declare it, and your mouth to declare it, and your eyes to read it, and you're speaking over your body, and then you're praying to the Lord, right? And the Lord may heal you. Your mind may heal you. So we're activating two things that have nothing to do with the actual supplement itself.
Material.
But then we combine the power of this amazing supplement, right? And we pack those 7 ingredients with the molecular hydrogen blend in it. So as you put it in, we're the only product that has these nutrients and the molecular hydrogen blend in it. There's no other product on the market that has this combination. It's no one can match it. So it's going to be a product that's going to stand on its own for a really really long time, and it separates it from all. You can get rid of 5 6 different supplements by just using Exodus. So a lot of people take a lot of supplements, and I do now, especially with my battle that I'm in right now. But I use my all natural health practitioners. They want me to take 4 times as much Exodus as our normal serving that we would give to people because it's got such good health benefits. They're like, hey, yeah, you need to quadruple, or 4 times the amount. So I take 4 servings of Exodus every day for my own health, and that's what the natural practitioners are recommending for me to do. So it's really got some awesome benefits for me, and and there's no negative benefits or no negative side effects that we've ever seen.
Speaking of no negative side effects, I'd love for you to share a powerful story of somebody that has had their life or their health transformed through your body of work. You know, you are combining faith and science together. So,
Right.
how has that changed lives? And definitely, there should be one sounding board story for you, one story that resonates with you till this day.
There's literally I mean, lots of them, and it's really exciting, and that's why I do what I do is because I love helping people. There's one woman who just amazing woman, and her her uh, her daughter. This is a crazy story, but her daughter was having such a difficult time where her body was just breaking down, and her body was breaking down so much that she couldn't sleep, and then it just created this snowball of effect in this young woman's life that it was just it was tragic. She literally wanted to commit suicide. She wanted to just be done with this world. She didn't she would just couldn't sleep. She was just physically breaking down everywhere, and it was just a really traumatic thing for she started taking the molecular hydrogen product and the components, with our product, and it changed her life dramatically. And within a very short period of time, within a couple of weeks, this young lady transitioned her life from being near death and wanting to die to being 100% restored, sleeping at night, and just her whole life transitioned and changed because of some capsules that we be able to create. So it's just like that's such a great feeling that you having such a big impact on someone's life, and they feel indebted to that because they're like, wow, it had such an amazing impact on my family's life. The mother who tells us these stories, and the daughter who took them. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's so neat to see that transformation, right? From somebody's life that was, they literally didn't want to be here anymore. And they now are just thriving. And she's a young woman in school. So I think she's in high school now. And just a couple of years ago, this happened. And it's just, in fact, it wasn't even that long ago. And it just super fun that she's able to do that. So there's dozens of them. I one is love is a pastor, right? His pastor, he's a musician, and he loves the product so much. He's like, this literally is a game changer for me. He calls it a game changer. This has changed my life. And it's like, you don't get a pastor who's going to lie to you, right? Well, maybe there probably are. Well, we know there are some. Well, let's talk about the good pastors.
And there are many of them. Let's not go there.
The good pastors are not going to lie to you. And yeah, he's just like, wow, this is a game changer for my health. And I use it. My brother uses it. My brother is a minister, an online minister, and he stays up really late at night doing Bible study, and then he's doing a lot of ministry during the day, and he'd be reading the Word, right, reading the Bible, and he'd be so exhausted from his research he did the night before and his shows, he would just get exhausted, fall asleep. He's like, "That's so embarrassing. I'm reading the Word, right? I'm trying to have a relationship with God, and I'm falling asleep, right?" And he's like, "This sucks." And so he started taking Exodus, and he's like, this is amazing." He's like, "I feel good. I don't feel in the afternoon." He takes a couple of capsules in the morning and takes two more capsules in the afternoon, and he's got the energy for the rest of the day. It's just like, wow, it's transforming people's lives right in front of me. So it's fun.
Wow. So speaking of the Bible, why is your goal of 1 million people reading the Bible daily tied to physical healing?
To me, like I mentioned from the beginning, right? Mind body spirit connection, I think, is very real, and it's very, very powerful. And I believe that God has put me on this earth for a mission. And if you read the Bible and you understand what the Bible says, the Great Commission, which is for us to make disciples of all nations. And in order for me to make disciples of all nations, I got to get people to understand what the word is, and the way that I'm introducing people to the word of the word of the Lord is through our product, right? On the outside of our product, it has a Bible verse that says, "For I am the Lord your healer." That's Exodus 15:26, right? It's And so it's in nature, innate of what we do as a company. We believe that you don't have to be a Christian to leverage our product. Our product is amazing in and of itself, and use it, right? It's going to help you. But if you combine the mind, body, spirit connection, and you're actually reading the word, you're going to make a big impact. And there might be people who not reading the word every day who read this prayer guide and get excited about a verse. It's like, wow, that's a really cool verse. But the cool thing about the Bible is there's context to that verse, right? In this, maybe we're in this prayer guide, it's not, doesn't discuss the context of what that Bible verse means. So the fun thing when you're researching the Bible is it's all about context. What did it mean, or what did Jesus mean when he said this? And what was the context around it? And so we do we have 30-minute or 15 to 30-minute Bible studies on each of these verses that just say, guess what? This is what it meant back then. This is how you can apply it to your life today. So get people excited about the word, because when you realize that the Bible, a lot of people call it the living word. And what they mean by that is when you're reading the Bible and you have a relationship with the Holy Spirit, God indwells the Holy Spirit within you when you're saved, and that Holy Spirit will communicate with you as you're reading the Word of God. And you might be reading a sentence, and in your mind you're like totally thinking about something totally different, and that in a lot of cases could be just your mind, but also can be the Holy Spirit prompting you. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it, because the living word is amazing, and having this direct connection with God is amazing. And at the end of the day, we're all going to either die, right? We're all going to die, but at the end of the day, when I believe I die, God is going to judge the world, and he's going to judge you. And at the end of the day, I want him to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," because the road to heaven is a relatively small road, and I want to be one of those people that he welcomes me into his heaven, just because I've taken what he's told me to do on this earth, and I didn't do it for the first 50 some years of my life. But the last 5, 6, 7 years, I realized that that's my purpose on this earth. He's trained me from the beginning of my life to do what I'm doing today. And now that he's given me a new lease with the heart condition and the miracle that I have experienced just 2 weeks ago, where I was dead I would literally, my heart's not beating on the operating table, and I'm here today to talk to you, is literally a miracle. And so I wanted people to understand that I realize that, and I'm grateful for that. And believe God has me here for a mission. So I'm going to be very open and honest and upfront about my mission. I'm not hiding it. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like my mission. You don't have to like God. You don't have to like Jesus. You don't have to like the Bible. But I'm really here to help you with your health, right? If I can help you with your health, then you might be interested in having another conversation with me about your faith. And if not, fine. I'd love everybody. I don't care what race, color, religion you are. I still love you, right? We're all children of God. And so I come at this from a love perspective, and I want to just put my arms and wrap my arms around people and help them with their health, because I know that when they get well, they're going to be so much better a version of themselves, and they're going to want to make a difference in this world. And man, what's there's so much negativity in this world. So many bad things are happening in this world. Let's just start changing things for good. Let's get people healthy. Let's get them well. And guess what? They're going to go help their neighbor. They're going to go see their grandchildren. They're going to play with they're going to go hang out with their friends that they wouldn't hang out with before. Maybe they're going to be nicer to their wife because they feel better. Just like so much positivity can happen when you're well. That then guess what? Start reading the word of the Lord. There's so many people who've read Proverbs every day in the Bible and have become super successful. The Proverbs is so awesome because it's 31 Proverbs. You go read one for every day. Today's the 4th of August. Just go read Proverbs 4. It takes you 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most, but most often it's like 5 minutes. You take 5 minutes to read the proverb for that day, and you do that every single day, and you just do it every single month. Those things are
How about
beginning.
how about a
Great.
30-day month or
Yeah.
February?
Well, that would just that you might have to read the 31st one every once in a while, right? So, and then in February when it's a leap year, then you have to actually read a couple extra ones. But
So, what is the first three-step action you would give someone stuck in chronic pain or spiritual stagnation?
Yeah, so the chronic pain one is simple. We need to reduce the inflammation, right? So one is I'd use our relief patch. I think that's going to help tremendously. But then it's like, how do you reduce that inflammation? And inflammation becomes from the starts in the gut. So you need to figure out what's irritating your body so much that's causing the inflammation, um, wherever that source is. Because most people don't try to find the source of their pain. So find the source,
Mm.
and the source is going to typically be is going to initiate from your gut. So get your gut healthy and hydrate, and use our patch. Those are the first things I would say from that pain perspective. Because if you don't find the source, you're not going to fix it. And so people will go for chronic pain for ages and ages and ages, and don't get it fixed. But then I'm learning about techniques about that, and NLT techniques, which are neuro linguistics, and techniques that you have a pain in your, maybe leg that came from a childhood experience that you had, and once they clear that, your pain heals. It's like, what? I mean, it's like,
I've interviewed
it's really
somebody in
really
the
cool.
past on the NLT thing, and
It's wild, huh?
I'm
I mean,
struggling
it's
to reconcile
wild.
it.
Yeah, it is hard. It's really hard to understand, right? I don't understand how that works. It doesn't make any sense to me in my brain. I don't get it, right? But it is a practice out there, and people are
It
using
is
it.
what it is.
It is, right? But from a scientific perspective, it makes sense to me that the inflammation starts in your gut. If you can heal your gut, then inflammation will start being reduced in the body, and then your organs, all start working the way they're supposed to work. And then, man, that's going to reduce a lot of people's chronic pain. And that does. The second one was, you'd asked me, was related to faith, right? How do you get out of a stagnant relationship, or just feeling about, I was the worst person related to my faith, because I was a Christian since I was young, but I wasn't a practicing one. So I would go to church every Sunday, and I love the service. I love the worship. I love the pastor. I'm like, great, great, rah, rah, rah. Boom. Soon as the door hit me in the butt, I was like, okay, that was great service. Let's go eat lunch. I go eat lunch, and then I don't think about church until the next Sunday. And that's healthy. And so what I have learned is getting into the word and reading the word on a daily basis is phenomenal. It's so much fun. I started off with Proverbs. I started reading Proverbs every day, and I just got finished with reading the entire Bible, 90-day period, which is really, satisfying. I got through it chronologically. I went through one of the reading plans, and you don't have to be as extreme as I was. You can just read 5-10 minutes a day. Just start reading the word, and when you start reading the word, you're going to start being fascinated with what's in there, because you could study the Bible for 30 years and still not figure it out. So don't be afraid that you're like, oh, I'm going to figure this, it's too intimidating. Just start. And that's why I
Just
love
be
to do the
afraid. I
Proverbs.
love that.
Yeah,
Study
just
to show
start.
thyself approved, a workman that need not be afraid, rightly dividing the word of truth. I love that verse. It's very important to study. We have a lot of shallow-minded Christians in this age and time.
Yeah.
People who come to you and tell you, my pastor said, excuse
Yeah, a
me,
lot of
I don't
judgmental
care
people
about
too.
your pastor. What does your Bible say? If you're a Christian, your reference should be your Bible, not your pastor. I'm very, very sorry.
Yeah,
And I think as we grow older, it's difficult to study the Bible because we have a lot of things competing for our attention. So I'm grateful.
100%.
I read the Bible, yeah, from Genesis to Revelations when I was 16, right?
Good for
So
you. Good for
yeah,
you.
I
You
did
were way
not.
better than
I did not
I was
have a
40
job
years.
or something to worry about.
I was 40 years late.
So
Hey, at
if you
least I
told me
did
to
it
read
right.
it now,
That's right.
I'll tell you to pay me a full year salary.
There you go. There you go. I like,
Because the
no,
truth be told is difficult,
it is
as an older
difficult,
person.
but you can nail it. That's what I love about doing it first thing in the morning. Because if you do it first thing in the morning, you do it and you get it not out of the way, but you do it, right? It's like just a routine. Go
Where
get
there's
your
a will,
lemon
there's
water
a
with
way.
Celtic salt. Yeah, and just start. Start just reading Proverbs every day. That's just my recommendation, because it's simple. It's easy. And then you start seeing it. And, Solomon, who wrote the book of Proverbs, was the richest and wisest man on earth. So it's like, why would you not want to listen to the richest and wisest man on earth, right? Wouldn't that be something somebody you'd want to learn from? And so you go start learning from him, and you're like, wow, he's got some really amazing concepts that relate to everyday life, right? It relates to everything you do as a person. It relates to your relationships we have with your loved ones. It relates to your business. It relates to everything. It relates to your entire life. So it's just super simple and easy to do. Start there. If all you did is read Proverbs for 30 days, you're going to say, oh, that was interesting. Let me go back. And then it's fun because you'll read Proverbs every day and you'll read it 10 different times. And that's where you'll start learning that word of God is a living word of God, and you start thinking about things. You're like, oh, I didn't realize it said that. I've read it 10 times, but I didn't realize that it said that. I didn't realize that that meant this, and you start, the Lord starts giving you information and downloading knowledge that you hadn't had before. And it's like, whoa, that's really, really fun. So I'm having a blast with that. And I want to give that gift to everybody. It's like, hey, you can have that gift of knowledge and discernment if you just start, right? So start somewhere. Start reading Proverbs every day, and then you're going to get addicted, and you're going to like it. And it's going to be fun. And you're going to be frustrated when you miss it.
So, skeptics hear terms like frequency medicine or biblical healing and they raise eyebrows. So, how
Yeah.
do you respond? What's the evidence that you lean on?
Yeah, I just there's so much evidence out there in the world, right? And do your own research. That's what I implore people to do. It's like, don't believe me, right? Don't believe anybody, right? And that's what the skill of research that I did learn is the media lies to you, the newspaper you read lies to you, social media lies to you, the music we listen to lies to us. I mean, it's literally a propaganda message that's being displayed in the world. If you go do research on Mockingbird Media, I'm not kidding. Mockingbird Media is a program in the United States that the CIA put out operatives in all of the news organizations, and at 4 a.m. in the morning, they give them their talking points, and each one of them have to say the same type of thing in a different little way, right? So they all say it. You'll hear it on the radio on the way to work. You'll hear it on the news on the way home. You'll read it. Maybe hear one of your friends talk about it. And you hear something 3 or 4 times, you assume it's true. And so,
Mhm.
but that's literally Mockingbird Media. It was a program that the CIA created that was supposed to be stopped. And literally just yesterday, I read that Tulsi Gabbard, is she the one that's in in the FBI? Somebody in the FBI literally is researching, found out that says Mockingbird Media is still in existence today. It's like, well, and it was supposed to be, stopped 40 years ago, whatever. So it's clear they have an agenda, or when the government or whoever these nefarious people are create this agenda that you just can't accept that as truth. You have to go find your own truth. So find your own sources of information. Don't believe Rob on frequency medicine, but I do implore you to go research Dr. Emoto, right? And maybe you think he's wacko. That's fine. Did you start doing the research on frequencies? There's so much information about frequencies that you're going to soon discover that what I'm saying is more than likely accurate. And then guess what? You start looking at all these other things. You look at hydrogen. Is hydrogen really beneficial? I don't know. Go do your own research. Go check those out, right? And then it's like it's really fun when you start digging in. And it's like, hey, I'm not coming at the. I'm probably the most skeptical person that you know, because I come into things. I'm like, and now it's even worse because I know I've been fed so much false information my entire life that I really don't trust a lot of resources. So my wife will be so funny. She'll get this social media post or something. She'll say, "Oh, did you hear about this?" And I say, "Okay, I'll take that in as information, but I don't accept it as truth. I have to go do my own research." So then
Absolutely. Yeah.
I go do my own research, and then I like say, "Okay, yes, man, that makes sense to me. That's smart." But man, it's frustrating that there's so much bad information out there. So don't believe me. Just go do your own research and have fun doing it.
Absolutely.
Go say, "I'm gonna
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna disprove this, Rob Rene guy. I'm gonna go prove him that frequencies are dumb." And then, go do your own research, then come back and let's have a good conversation about it. Yeah, they're skeptics about everything, and I'm okay with that, and I accept that. I took a world religions class when I went to school, and it was really eye opening. It's so much fun to see all the different religions in the world and how people come up with different, how they have different beliefs, and I'm accepting of all of that. I'm okay with all of that. Do I believe that the Bible is true? I do. That's what I believe. But if you don't accept it, that's fine. I don't look at you any different because you don't. But I just believe what the Bible says, right? And the Bible says certain things, and people are like, oh my gosh, the Bible says that you're a bad person because you believe in the Bible. I'm like, hey, I didn't write the Bible, right? The Bible is what it is. But do I believe what it is there? Yes. And so anyway,
I love what you're saying right now because it actually speaks to something that happened today. A friend of mine shared a YouTube video with me, right? And I don't know if I should call these guys out on what they have done. They literally were spreading a Christian faith propaganda, right? So they put up a video stating that they asked ChatGPT a couple of questions, right?
right.
And that ChatGPT said, I don't know if this is going to infringe copyrights. I guess if I don't play the media, right? If I don't have the sound on,
I think you can talk about it, right? You can.
yeah,
I don't.
if I don't have the sound on, because I do not mind presenting this, right? Because I don't like people spreading false information. It's not right. It is not fair, right?
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't just give them free publicity, right?
That's true. That's true. It's up to you. But yeah, the concept though is you're saying
It's
that they're using GPT and putting out false information.
Yes, so these guys says he put a prompt into ChatGPT and then he asked ChatGPT whether AI has, demonic origins, and that ChatGPT said partially true, that okay, what's the origin of ChatGPT? Said from military research, and if there are evil intentions behind, the AI and ChatGPT, and it said partially true, and that okay, what's the intention of AI and ChatGPT? It said to control and efficiency, and what did he say? He asked what's the true religion, and it said Christianity. And asked, is Jesus the Son of God? And it said yes. Is anybody who doesn't believe in Jesus going to go to hell? And ChatGPT said yes. And it just went on and on and on to just sort of manipulate people into Christianity. I'm a Christian, right? I was not
Right. Right.
manipulated into Christianity. I have my own personal relationship and personal experience with God, right?
Yeah.
You talked about being exposed to other religions and, of course, accepting of their faith. And what a lot of people do not realize is if you weren't born into a Christian family, you wouldn't have been Christian. Case closed. Some other people were born into other religions, and that's why they practice that religion, right? And we all need to learn to accept, each other, our differences, right? And of course, all roads lead to the top of the same mountain. There's just one God, right? But it's funny how people will use manipulative tactics to try to spread
Well, yeah.
Christianity. I'm very, very upset about this. It's not right because I punched the same set of questions into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT gave me a different string of answers. So why
Yeah.
would you do that? And most people would not take that time to go punch in those same questions into ChatGPT
Right.
to
Right.
verify. Same going back to the scientific method, right? Doing your own
Yeah.
research, right? You
You can
don't
make a
just come
video
tell
say
me,
anything, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. It's and first of all, I'm not going to have AI tell me anything about the Bible. Right? I mean, there's lots of things that it could tell me what the words are.
uh-huh.
What its interpretation is
Right, that's
I'm not gonna take AI's interpretation, right? I'll take a pastor's interpretation and/or, I'll take it to the Lord, right? I'll ask him, directly, and so I'm not gonna ask AI interpretation of things like that are of spiritual nature, 'cause the ChatGPT doesn't have a spirit, right? It's not going to understand the spiritual realm that is a real in my opinion, a real realm that exists. And so, I'm not going to ask ChatGPT those types of things. So, but
But it sounds
that's
like a
what,
clown show, you know. It sounds like a real clown show. If AI is truly demonic, will it tell you that I am demonic? Let's see what's start from
yeah,
there.
I mean, well, yeah, I
How
think that's just
stupid.
people learn, you know why people do that, right? I mean, they want the click. They want people to click it. They want
Clickbait.
people to Yeah, it's 100% clickbait. That's all it is. So, I would look at that and I would not even worry about it because people are just going to do that stupid stuff regardless, right? So, to me, it just goes off my shoulder and I flick it off and like, oh, what's another clickbait? People trying to get people to watch stuff, right? So, uh,
And
that
you know
just
the
happens
funny
in our
thing,
society.
the
That's
funny
what
thing is the
happens.
comment section. The comment section was wild. The comment
Yeah,
section is
see
wild,
that's why
brother.
they did it. That's why they did it. They wanted to, I literally, as part of my business, I talk to these people who are, PR people, and they're like, "There's no such thing as bad press," right? And it's like, so they want to create controversy, right? They want to put you right in the middle of it, so then you get all this press related to it. It's like, I'm too old for that stuff. It's like I don't want to do so. So
I'm too old to die young.
yeah, exactly. God has me here for a purpose, so I'm just gonna make the best of it.
So how do you balance using strong faith language while still inviting those who aren't yet believers? How do you balance that? Because science and religion are like water and oil, but
Well,
how do
you know what's
you?
really fun though is they're not. Science is actually amazing at proving the Bible. So
Mhm.
there's really lots and lots of scientific evidence about the reliability of the Bible. My brother teaches this whole series on the reliability of the Bible, and it
Mhm.
talks about the contextual actual language in the Bible. You can prove it that way. You can prove it via archaeology and the of how the Bible is real. You can do it with science. There's lots of science related specific topics that can be proven in the Bible, and a lot of scientists,
Social science as well, history, anthropology. Yeah.
right. So it's not oil and water like most people think it is, because if you really look at it, there's lots of scientific evidence that you
If you
can't
use the
disprove it.
right scientific method, oil and water
Yeah.
would actually combine.
There you go.
You know, if you know, you know.
I like it. So yeah,
Mhm.
and then just from a generic perspective, right? If I'm talking to a non-believer, I come at it with a love perspective, because I- you know I wasn't all I probably was a believer when I was young, but haven't always believed that I know the answer. Reading, going through the college courses and all these religions, like, you start questioning yourself. You're like, wow, I wonder. I grew up in this environment, but what if I would have been born in India, right? What if I would have been what I have done? And there's lots of people in India who are converting to Christianity because they heard the message and heard the word, and they believe that is true. And so I think anybody can be converted to Christianity. That's part of the Great Commission, is to spread the gospel throughout all the nations, right? And so I believe that's our mission, to get it out there and to get people to at least understand it and evaluate it. But if you're not interested in it, fine, I get it. If you don't want to understand, but I believe that it's important for at least people to investigate, because at the end of the day, we all have this innate sense within us that there's something else, that they're created, right? That there's something else, right? There is a God. There is something else. It's not just this bag of flesh, as people call it, right? We are a human body, but there's more to it than just that. There's a soul, right? And the soul is different than the body. And so when you start realizing that there is a soul, and that you start teaching people about that, and then they're more comfortable having a conversation about spiritual things when they can realize that there is a mind, body, and a spirit, and mind, body, soul, however you want to say that term. But it's just one of those things, is like, hey, let's start at the beginning, right? And a lot of people are broken in this world. It's broken a lot of people down, and when people are down, they're like looking for answers, and you just need to be there and say, hey, guess what? The, there is hope. you have hope. And when you can give people hope, it is amazing. Hope is like the best medicine you can give anybody in the world. God is hope, right? And so you can give them hope and give them the gospel, and you can talk to people about it, and then it's amazing, right? People are so much more receptive when you're not bashing it, right? I'm not taking this Bible of mine and bashing on anybody's head. Like, read this Bible, read it, believe it.
Speaking of the
You're
Bible,
going, yeah.
speaking
I'm
of the
not going to
Bible,
do that.
I want you to go to the book of Hebrews, Hebrews
Okay,
11,
Hebrews 11.
yeah, chapter 1. Chapter Hebrews 11, verse 1, rather. Sorry. Speaking of hope.
Let me find it. The numbers are so small in this Hebrews. That's because I'm not in the right area. All right, I'll find it. What's Hebrews what?
Chapter 11, verse 1.
Getting closer. Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Hebrews. Say the verse again.
11.
All right, Hebrews 11. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen, whereby it the people old received their commendation. So that's right. I mean, it's like now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, or the conviction of things not seen. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's
There you
beautiful.
go.
You give them hope. Yeah, I'm gonna put that marker there. It's great. That's what the Bible is so awesome. There's so many awesome things about it, and it's something you can study it, and you can be 30 years and you're not going to know it all, but it is fascinating and fun. And I just want people to at least be ignited and be interested and intrigued. And people who have a scientific mind, they love like my brother's study, because it talks about how archaeology proves it, right? And how the contextual criticism proves it. You can prove the Bible in so many different ways. It's like, it's fascinating. You're like, wow, that's pretty cool. I listened to this one audiobook. It's called Learn the Bible in 24 Hours. And it's like, oh yeah, come on, give me a break. But what it does is kind of summarizes all of the things. And one of the areas that he talks about is how much hidden contextual information is within it. And from his perspective, every single word is in there for a reason. And they all fit together. And it's like, you start looking at the genealogy of Christ is hidden inside one of the gospels. So it's like, wow, how is, I mean, that you start looking at things like that, it's like that's so anyway, there's so much research you can do on the Bible, and there's so much things that people was on this one gentleman's podcast, and it's like his podcast is all about just basically bashing the Bible, and it was called um the Bible says what, and then he takes everything out of context, right? And he just said the Bible says, thou shalt kill your mother or whatever, and it's like, oh, you're gonna kill your
What,
mother? You it's
what
like,
the hell?
come come on, right? You gotta look at things contextually. You gotta look at them as a body of a whole, not just one little word. But there's so many awesome nuggets like that. The Hebrews 11:1, right, is an awesome one for hope. If you give people hope,
Absolutely.
then they can change their entire life, and it's amazing when you get their mind right, and they can start having that hope, and hope can heal. Hope can heal people and heal things and heal relationships. And so, man, the gospel's a blast, because you can, once you give people hope, they can really transform. And then once they transform, they can make a difference around them. And then when they make a difference around them, guess what? Those people are going to maybe have a difference around them. You can create this ripple effect that can have a amazing impact on the entire world, just by you being one little person making a difference, giving somebody else hope. You can have a ripple effect across the world that started from you. That's pretty amazing.
Wow. So the next question I have for you is around red flags in wellness, right? But I like to talk about red flags when it comes to religion and spirituality. Some people, or would I say many people, are brainwashed but do not even realize it. That's a very big problem. So it takes a scientific mind applying the empirical method to
Right.
understand how to decipher things, in this world, right? But also, when you have that scientific mind, sometimes when you get on the extreme, it's it can cause some unwanted consequences, right? So I had some associate, right, who told me something really ridiculous or something, and they were like, "Oh, if you don't come to church, you're gonna end up in hellfire," and like that. So some group of Christians that even like their own church is like the only true church, blah blah blah. And I made a cheeky joke as well. I was like, "Oh wow, really? So you are going to heaven and I'm going to hellfire? Really? Yeah, like if you don't come to church, I would end up in the hellfire." And I tell her
Yikes!
something. It's a joke from my country. Like,
Right?
okay, if you die and you go to heaven and you don't see me there, just know you ended up in hellfire.
Yeah. I like that one. That's good. That's right. Like, dang it, I don't see him anywhere. Where's he
You
at?
don't
That's pretty good.
well, yeah, I just gave you a new joke. You can
Like,
spread it in
why is
America.
it so hot down here? It's like,
That is a gift from Nigeria to America. I give it to you.
uh, I appreciate that. That's a good one. That's a
So,
very good one.
what would you say are the red flags in wellness that people chasing natural health remedies should watch out for?
I think it's like, man,
Because
I'm
there
a
are a lot of
perfect.
false prophets.
There are a lot of false prophets, and I'm a perfect example. My heart is, I've been preaching against Western medicine, not necessarily to preach against Western medicine, but just saying big pharma is a problem, and they control information. They're all about money, and they just want they it's bad for the way that you should treat people. We should start treating people's health as a holistic thing, right? We're an entire being. Our body is so complex; it's made up of so many things that I made the mistake of when God gave me four different messengers to talk about getting a pacemaker. I ignored the first three, right? He gave me four messages. It took him four messengers to give me to me for me to finally listen, right? And he's like, "Hello, how many messengers do I have to give to you before you listen?" So Rob finally listened, and I went and got my heart checked, and my heart finally it failed as I'm on the operating table. It's like that's just craziness. That's just absolutely nuts. And so I look at that now, like that's a miracle that I'm alive. I learned a good lesson. I'm going to, from if you get information from a practitioner, don't necessarily have to believe that practitioner. Get a second opinion, right? Get a second
Absolutely.
opinion. But then maybe you should listen to the second and or the maybe a third if you're like really, really stressed.
You
But just
can't.
don't do what I
There's something
did.
I love to say. I always love to say you can't have a hat trick of mistakes. In the
Right, you're
professional
right.
world, it's very rare. A hat trick of mistakes. That's three in a row. I know.
That's 3 in a row. Yeah, and I almost
It's
made
very
that
rare.
mistake, right? So I learned from that. So just I think it's important and you need to treat the body as a whole, right? There's people gonna say, "Oh, I'm a heart specialist, and this is what's going to fix you," but it may have been a liver problem, right? That's causing the reason why your heart hurts or whatever the condition is. So just look at your body as a holistic being, and don't believe there's too many people out there is like, you need to use this, and cancer is a great example of. Oh my gosh, yeah, in fact, I was on a show just the other day where they great Christian show, and the woman's like, "Oh yeah, you have cancer? Well, here, if you take ivermectin, it's going to kill all parasites, and cancer's all parasites." So I was like, she has this misunderstanding of cancer that she in her mind interpreted it all as a parasite. And now there is evidence that uh, some people misinterpret some cancers as parasites.
Uh-huh.
So that's okay. A small percentage of that is what she's saying is true, but it's not true for everything, right? And she, in her mind, is like, oh, you have cancer, you need to take ivermectin because it's a parasite and it's going to kill it, and then you're going to be fine. And that's just not the case, right? That's not
That
that's not and so
BS.
everybody has these things, these remedies for you. But what I'm finding is that our body is so complex and our genetics are so interesting that my specific cancer is different than the next person that has my
Uh-huh.
specific cancer. And so in the reason I got it is different than the reason why somebody else got it. So the way I need to treat my cancer is different than the way they need to treat their cancer. So
Cause and
it's
effect
it,
analysis,
yeah, it's really
root
important for
cause.
you to not just take, hey, well, it worked for him, it's going to work for me. That might not necessarily be the truth, right? Because your body may be the reason why you have what you have may be different than what the other person that has the same exact thing as you, but the way you're going to treat it is different because your body's different. Your genetics are different. The reason you got the issue is different. And so you can't look at it just as a black and white thing. Medicine is a puzzle and it needs to be put together appropriately. But you need to go back to the basics, right? The back to what God made this body incredible, right? We talked about water, we talked about nutrients, we talked about gut health. We started talking about things like that. You can start healing the body from the core by doing those things. So just if people just say they have the magic pill, right? Don't believe them. It's not true, right? This supplement's not going to fix everything that people are trying to do. It's a great supplement, can help you with a lot of things, but there's so many other things that you can do that just from a red flag perspective is do this only, only do this for this. It just almost doesn't ever work anymore.
So, what is different about building Exodus strong compared to your prior corporate ventures?
Oh my gosh, it's just if you told me 5, 6 years ago that I'd be doing what I'm doing now, I would have said you're absolutely nuts. There's no way. I hated talking about my faith. I hated talking about health because it's something that those two are two areas I didn't understand. I was a corporate executive selling enterprise software, for goodness sakes, right? I was selling solutions that were hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm selling to large corporations, the biggest corporations in the world. I'm in there positioning our products and why they're so good and how it's going to help them. I had no knowledge of religion. I had no knowledge of healthcare. I had no knowledge of the human body and how it's made up, and I just didn't understand any of that stuff. So if you would have told me, I said, "What? I'm be doing that? How in the heck? How is that possible?" Right? And it's only because the God orchestrated it that way. Right? He orchestrated everything in my life to be here. He trained me on everything. When early on, he trained me about nutrition. Right? When I was a youth athlete, that was what really important. Then in my corporate career, he taught me how to communicate with people. He taught me how to be not afraid to get in front of a group of senior executives and have a conversation with them. And, I put my pants on the same way they put their pants on, right? They, just because he's the CEO and he has billions of dollars, he's still a human being. I'm a human being. I'm going to have a conversation where I'm going to explain to him why my product is good and why it's going to benefit him. And to have that confidence and have that conversation was a skill set that God trained me on how to do. And then guess what? He's
Absolutely.
like, okay, boom, now you need to go learn about medicine. You need to learn about health. And boom, and then boom, I got cancer. He's like, okay, now I need to learn about oncology. Right. I want you to understand how this works. And then what are you going to do with this, Rob? And how are you going to help people? And that's where now I'm in that whole reverse thing. Is like, okay, I've been learning about all natural health and interviewing all these doctors, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a practitioner. I don't want to be. I don't pretend to be. But what I do want to do is I want to give people hope. I want to give them that they can get better. You can get well, and there's lots of resources for you. And I've spent the last 5 or 6 years going through the same thing that you just did. I just going through this battle of cancer. Look what here's all these resources I've been able to gather. Utilize these resources to help you, right? And that's what I think my mission is, right? Is like, how can I just collect these sets of information to be of big value to people, and then guess what? It's going to make a big difference on them, and then I'm going to introduce my faith as part of that discussion, just because it's so critical to who I am as a human being.
So, how do you get it recharge your own battery when the mission becomes heavy and resistance is constant?
Yeah, my wife is just beautiful. She's such a wonderful soul that without her I would be in big trouble because
Happy wife,
I
happy life.
yeah. Yeah, I mean she's just amazing, right? She's taking such great care of me with my cancer. And literally I'm going through this process where she needs to wrap my leg almost every day. I have lymphedema, which is just an inflammation of my leg because my tumor is plugging up my lymph node, so my leg isn't, isn't, um, the fluid gets stuck in my leg, so we have to wrap it every day, and it's like, wow, what a pain in the butt, right? For me, a pain in the butt for her, and it's just like, well, she's such an angel. That's just like, wow, she just doesn't complain about it, just helps me, and it's like something that just like, wow, she's signed up for something. I feel really bad that she is having to do, but I love her to death for it. That's why I just recharged my battery, just being around my family and realizing through this health journey that that's really what's important. All the money and all the things, materialism, that nothing means anything to me. What means anything to me is
Ephemeral.
my relationship with God and my relationship with my family. And then how can I make a difference in this world? Those are the things that are important to me. And that's way different than what it was, right? 10 years ago, I was all about making money and all about raising myself in the corporate ladder, and how am I going to have this car, how am I going to have this house, how am I going to have this, and it's like everything meant about what I was going to get, right, instead of what am I going to do, how am I going to help people. And
What are you
man, it's
gonna
just been a
give?
crazy transformation in my world. Is now I'm gonna none of that stuff matters to me. But what does matter to me is my relationship with God and my relationship with my family and trying to help other people. So that's all that matters to me.
Oh wow. Whoa. So, what is one mindset shift you would love for our audience to adopt going forward, starting from today?
What mindset shift? Yeah, is just to know that you're on this earth for a reason, right? God has you here for a reason. So go find out what that reason is, and whatever mechanisms you do to choose it, have that mindset that God is good, and that He has you here for a reason. So you have hope, right? You always have hope, and there is breath in your lungs because you are here for a reason. So that's the mindset shift. Let's get shift from me, thinking about just me. Let's talk about what impact you're going to have on the world. Then when things become not about you, the world starts becoming a better place because we're all here to help. We're all in this together. We're all here to help other people. And just think about how much of an amazing world this would be if we were all looked at the world that way, rather than, well, what about me? What about you, and how can I help you? And we can transition that and change that mind shift to people's like you do have a purpose, and it is a good purpose, and everything God does is for good. That go utilize that, do something good for somebody else, have gratitude.
Gratitude is good attitude. That is something I always say towards the end of the podcast. But of course, yeah, we are actually towards the end as well here. A quick cue. I would advise the audience before you mention it, guys, go visit exodusstrong.com and start the journey there. So I'm not gonna let you go without putting you through the round of fire, a quick fire
All right,
segment.
all
Are
right,
you
let's
ready?
do it.
Let's get ready to
All right,
rumble.
go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Bro,
I can
so
do it.
quick fire. I'm gonna throw rapid questions. You just give me the first couple of words that come to your mind. Are you ready?
I'll do my best.
Okay. So give me one word that defines who you are today.
Christian.
Okay. So what Bible verse do you turn to when you need strength?
I can do Ephesians, right? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. That's 19. Yeah.
Or 19,
13
yeah.
rather. Yeah. Philippians 4:13. Yeah. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I love that favorite. Okay, so faith practice that you never skip.
I never what?
That you never
Never
skip.
skip. Yeah, that's a great question. I would say all of them, in the past, but now I don't skip reading the Word. I
Oh
used
wow.
to used to skip it all the time, but no, I've totally changed, and now that's what that's my one faith practice. I'm gonna change it because it's gonna be prayer. Every single night before I fall asleep. I say a prayer,
Mhm,
regardless of where I am, who I am, where I always will do that,
mhm.
and
The Bible says
never.
pray without ceasing. Okay, so let's talk about health myths and truths. Quick one. Biggest health myth people believe.
The white coat is not the answer. That's been the problem. That's the
I
biggest health myth in the world. We all believe that the white coat is going to give us the purple pill that's going to fix us, and that's not the answer to your health.
So, what's one supplement everyone should stop taking?
Stop or start?
Stop.
Stop taking?
Yeah.
Um, that is a great question. Let me think of one that is just has a negative impact on. You know what, the ones that really are bad are the multivitamins because they really don't do anything for you. Because typically the multivitamins are made up of really bad nutrients and or not enough of the right nutrients, and it's just people think that they're taking this multivitamin and it all just goes out their urine. And so that you need to get the right supplements that are going to give you the right nutrients that your body needs, not just trying to throw everything at it. So be more specific, narrow it down to what your body needs.
So should I go toss the ones that I have in the bean? I'll think about it. Okay, quick daily habit that moves the needle for you.
Oh my gosh, the ones we talked about, those first five, right? I'd combine them all into one, but that's the thing is water in the morning, getting the sun. Those are the things that are most important to me. I don't skip a day if I can. If it's not sunny, I don't. But I try to do those things every single morning.
Oh, so what's one phrase to describe mainstream medicine?
A farce.
Okay, so what's one
It's
thing that skeptics get right about wellness?
one thing skeptics get right. That's a good question. Everybody's different, maybe because that when you're a skeptic, you're like, oh, that'll never work for me. That just the thing. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is at the end of the day, we are all different, and there is not one pill that's going to fix everybody's condition because we
Uh-huh.
are all different. But
There's no
the
one size
skeptics kind
fits
of get it.
all.
They kind of get it right. That is true.
So what's one thing they miss out that you wish they would ask?
That the body is a holistic being that's made up of all these different complex organisms and things, and we think, oh, you're going to go do this and it's going to fix everything, but the reason why you have that might be because these other 10 things are out of order. So you got to look at the body as a holistic entity and treat it holistically. If you try to treat it one thing, you're going to miss the boat. And that, unfortunately, is our society today. We go to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh, you have this. You need to take this pill, and then that pill causes this problem, and then you need to go to another doctor to talk about that problem, and then that doctor gives you another pill for that problem. Then you end up on 15 different prescription medications, and they all have side effects. So it's a pill for nail society, which we need to get away from.
So the very final one, Exodus Strong in 5 words. What's the core premise?
Except the old you.
Okay, so with that, I say we have actually come to the end of a very, very great session. Highly insightful, highly educating. It was fun as well. And of course, like I love to say, gratitude is good attitude. From me to you, it's love and respect to you. You know, when a person shares their time with you, they share their life with you because the SI unit for measuring life is time. From me to you, Rob Rene, the French sounding name residing in God's own land, in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stay strong, Exodus strong. And of course, I pray that you get to the promised land. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you so, so much. And of course, to our audience, guys, go do the right thing. Please like, share, subscribe, and of course, engage with the the content in the comment section. All of the resources that were mentioned on this podcast are going to be in the description. So go grab what you need to grab. And from Rob Rene, before we get on the exodus of, the next episode, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? And what are your parting
Yeah, I mean, I want to give shout out to the Lord, right? I like literally have to do that because it's like without Him, I wouldn't be here today. I literally am a miracle that I'm sitting here in front of you today. And so I just know that He does have a plan for my life, and my life is there to help people. So I'm praying that I add a little teeny value to your life, and that you can do one of those things that might help you be be well. And then if you're interested in the faith discussion, there's lots of resources and things that you can do, but just I recommend you start reading Proverbs, right? Just something that's going to be educational for you and something that can be very valuable to you. And so why not, right? Go read Proverbs. Doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not. Go read Proverbs. It's going to be very insightful for you. And I'm here to be a warrior for your faith and your health.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic one. Speaking of proverbs, I'm going to end with a Chinese proverb. Give a man a fish, you fed him for a day, but teach a man to fish, you fed him for a lifetime. And of course, I hope we have fed you for a lifetime today by teaching you how to fish. So guys, go fish in the comments section, in the description section. And of course, till I come your way again soon, stay out of trouble. Always believe in yourself. Always go for something in your life. Try to achieve, conceive, believe, strive to thrive and achieve. God bless you guys.
Amen. Well done.